Welcome, agents, to strain 67-WBB, which I think of the which isn't the one you immediately posted there. That's okay. Of the 0 Point Report, a broadcast all about the news surrounding the Secret World IP. Today is Thursday, August 11th, 2022. And I am Ocho, one of the hosts for this evening. With me tonight, we have Two-Ton Waffle.
Good morning.
Guten Morgen.
And what do you mean? It's right there. It's correct title.
Oh, totally. Well, yeah, absolutely.
As I've frantically tried to change it.
I always forget to. The problem is I always forget to tell you.
Yeah.
Tell you what.
I usually think as you're doing it, I'm like, oh, let me go ahead and change the title real quick. But yeah.
Because I put it in our show notes.
Mm-hmm.
I put it in our notes, but then I always forget to tell you anyway. So it's my fault. It's my fault, really.
We'll blame Jimmy.
You go to hell.
And we have fresh from a nice haircut, JimmytheRabbit.
Dang. Yeah, it was time. I had to get shorn.
Not bad. It's about my time again, and I'm not even all that long.
Now my hair was like here, like legitimately like there. You can watch like a VOD from like 2 days ago or something. Like my hair is fucking ridiculous. I probably
That's amazing.
Could have gone like not quite as short, but it buys me more time to the next haircut. Your follicles have been put in their place.
Yes, and welcome to anyone joining us in our chat tonight. Refem. I think it's Refem. How are you? How are you doing?
The old dad joke is like, you got your hair cut? No, I got them all cut.
Yeah. We always used to say I had my ears lowered.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah. I had my ears revealed. They were completely hidden by hair.
Completely covered, yeah. And Vomer. Hey, Vomer, how are you? If ever I pronounce one of your names incorrectly, just let me know.
Suck it up and move on.
I mean, I'll make the attempt. I always try to make people feel as uncomfortable as possible here by being overly creepy and friendly.
We're doing a bang-up job. I just want to let you know.
Stressed but not terrible. I exist. I feel that. I would say I think we all kind of feel that to an extent.
Yeah, it's hard not to.
Yeah.
It's hard not to.
It's really fucking hard not to. Yeah.
it's just the way it is.
After the past couple of weeks that I've had, and in the interim, we even had a Two-Ton Waffle catching COVID.
Yeah, that was fun.
Going through that.
I didn't get them all.
I didn't get the shirt or anything like that. It sucked.
No.
Now you just need monkeypox.
Yeah.
No, I don't need that. I had enough.
Well,
about a week.
You need the achievement, right? You got.
I can let that achievement go unearned.
It'll get you a whole 10 points though.
Only 10.
Well, that's a lot.
Well, then I need to get like polio, smallpox.
Currently in ear hiding mode myself. Refam. Okay.
All right. Smallpox words. Yeah, screw it.
So the smallpox vaccine.
There you go.
Scar.
Pox them on.
Gotta catch them all.
Gotta get all the poxes.
Ugh.
A pox upon you.
Welcome to the world we live in now.
Hey, we're number one. USA.
USA. We're just proud of catching diseases. That's really what it is.
Yeah, they put that on the tourist brochures over in Europe and everywhere else.
Right. They're like, do you really want to go there? Do you really want to? They don't care about it. They just let it run rampant.
They don't give a shit. Just like honey badgers.
They took our diseases.
Like they respect freedom so much that they respect the virus's freedom to procreate.
I mean, it is important.
God damn it. I'd say, well, welcome again. And because we are here now to talk about stuff that has been going on in the Secret World.
The last 40 days.
The last 40 days.
since we had an episode.
Now I just want to double check if that's. I mean,
I think it's
probably
more
is.
potentially.
Well,
I think it's usually more than 40 days. Because it's the entirety of last month plus like 10 days.
Yeah, because it was
Okay,
the
yeah,
last
it's
week, the last 2
very
weeks
close.
of July.
Very close.
Yeah, July.
I think it's. I want to say it's 42 days.
Who to beam up?
Oh, that's even better. The magic 42.
42, right?
I think I missed like a weekend. Like, well, it depends if you count on the days or the inside days, right?
Right,
That
right.
lets me lose 2 days.
Well, yeah, depending on when you start the week. Is it a Sunday, Monday? When is it?
Right. If I'm not counting the 11th today, and I'm not counting the day that we actually had the last one, which technically the last one probably ended on the 1st of July, you see. And then if we don't count today,
We
that is
can make the
42.
number work.
It's like
It could work.
statistics. It's always made up. It's just a bunch of numbers.
The you know, when you're good with numbers, you know how to finagle them. Easy.
Yeah. Don't you know how to cook
Easy,
bugs?
easy.
But yeah, good times. My wife is sneaking downstairs to get some cookies.
Did you bring enough for everybody?
Oh, she said I was not supposed to tell everyone.
Whoops. You are not cut out for the the clandestine operation.
It's right. Well, I mean, it wasn't that clandestine. She sent me a text first.
Right, Volmer? I want a cookie as well.
Oh yes, yeah. Now some of our viewers want cookies as well. Got to share. So we got to share. So some of our viewers want cookies as well.
You got a CD-ROM, right? Just put it in a tray.
Yeah, I'll put it. Yeah, we'll digitize it. I've got a scanner.
There you
We'll
go.
put it on the scanner. Scan you over some chocolate chip.
Sweet. Chocolate chip, too?
They're not like high quality cookies. They're like, you know, Pillsbury buy at the store in the
Hey, those are good, too.
dough container. I mean, they still count. They absolutely still count.
What
They
was it?
all-
The Intamins. Those are really good. Like the
They all
small little
count.
bite-sized cookies. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
Usually they're buy one, get one free.
I'm so partial to Oreos though too. Good Oreo.
Yeah.
Oreo goes a long way.
Then when it's Girl Scout cookie season, it's the Thin Mints, Samoas.
So my wife says that her favorite is gingerbread though. Gingerbread.
Oh, that's good too. Mm-hmm.
It's a good choice.
Yeah.
Have a good night.
All right. Good night. That's our show.
All right. Yep. We're out. Peace out.
See ya.
See you another 40
That's all
days.
there wasn't much. I like Aldi's Doppelkeks. Doppelkeks.
Doppelkeks.
You
It's
can
German,
only buy them twice a year.
I think.
I never even heard of them. Variety pack from Grocery Bakery. Yeah. Our bakery's is really not that bad either. Like in our shop, right? Which is where we normally go.
You gotta get your stuff from Sheets.
Sheets. Go down to the Piggly Wiggly.
But I got Piggly Wigglies up there.
No.
That's what I was going to say. That's a southern thing.
As far as I know, that's only a southern thing. Yeah.
Well, it's like it goes as far as Georgia. There's nothing in Florida, thankfully.
Only one oatmeal raisin so far. I actually like a good oatmeal raisin cookie.
You're
I wouldn't
being
mind.
ripped
Yeah,
off
good
if you only
oatmeal
got
raisin.
one oatmeal raisin.
They're sandwich cookies basically, but with a good combination of shortbread and dark chocolate inside. Okay. All right.
Oh, what was those cookies that if your grandmother sews and it comes in the circle tin
Yes.
that they put after you eat all the cookies, you put all the sewing stuff in there. Those are
They
really
put
good.
basically like the equivalent of rock salt but sugar on top of
Oh
those.
yes,
Yeah. Circle K. Got to
Oh, yeah.
refill the 54-ounce chug mug.
Danish
Circle
butter
K.
cookies. You're right, Volmer.
Oh yeah, Danish butter cookies. The blue tins. Yeah, I have one of those over here right now.
hmm
Well, I like those. I'm gonna like a special hot spot for those.
And the tin, as we know, is super useful for literally everything,
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can put whatever you want in there.
especially sewing supplies.
Oh, I guess I'll join this group, whoever this person is.
Fuck.
It's better than those random cabal invites.
It was like,
it
what is it? I
though?
saw a picture the other week, and it was someone buying one of those tins of like the 3 kinds of popcorn,
Mm-hmm.
and they opened up and they're like, holy shit, there's actually popcorn in here.
Usually the first one to go in that is the caramel. And then
Yeah.
the regular. The cheese one usually takes the longest and it gets stale before it's actually gone.
Didn't know you were a connoisseur.
Oh, yes, we get My mother-in-law usually gets those for the kids every Christmas.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm usually the one trying to finish off the caramel ones because the wife will totally decimate them.
So where are we going? Where's this raid at? Is it a whatever raid?
Is it a what raid? What?
Deep raid? New York raid?
New York raid story mode. I'm inviting people.
Okay.
Okay.
Philadelphia raid? No, there's no Philadelphia raid. Anyway, so the news that we have is the news that has been going on since our last show.
May or may not be news to you.
Yes, probably you already know. But that's okay. We'll review it anyway.
Well, it's new to us on the show.
Cheese goes fastest when my family has those. White cheddar is the best popcorn. White cheddar is pretty dang good.
Yeah, I'd say white cheddar tends to go pretty quick.
Yeah, white cheddar is pretty fantastic.
It's the yellow cheese one that maybe like doesn't. But even that, I think, just depends who's around. Some people like the cheesy popcorn, but like white cheddar, there's something special about white cheddar popcorn. That shit is
true. It's true. White cheddar stuff is like phenomenal.
No, I actually I tried a chocolate chip cookie that had salt on it for the first time. It was a mess up. It was from Arby's. They gave me the wrong order and I had like a cookie in there. I'm like, okay, whatever. I never had a salted cookie before.
Okay.
Probably pretty good, I imagine.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Salt and sweet tend to go.
Yeah.
Tend to go well.
Especially when they're like when it was kind of popular there for a bit, when it was like caramel with sea salt. Or
sea
something.
salt, dude. It also, that's the thing. It's sea salt specifically.
Yeah, it was the big crunchy crystals. So it probably was
like sea salt and chocolate or caramel. The sea salt's fucking really good.
And yeah, it was pretty damn good. It would. I don't know why. He's like, yeah, you saw it around for quite a while. Whenever like everything was like caramel with sea salt, caramel with sea salt, caramel with sea salt, and then
you still do. If you go look at the candy aisle, there's all kinds of shit that's caramel with sea salt. You just started, but already salty. Yes, but also sweet. Or like those commercials for those sour candy bears or whatever. First they're sour. It's like them like
then they're sweet.
It was like awful. And then they're sweet.
Punches you in the face. Yeah. Hey Zen.
All right. If no one messages me like in a minute, I'm gonna just go.
Doing New York raid story mode.
Story mode, which means you get to run up the stairs. The salt emote they made for this game is the salt emote they made for this game is actually just an emote of a meme. Then
yeah, it's Salt Bay.
Yeah, just go look up the meme. It's like literally that's what it is.
Yeah, that's literally how some.
Someone's not done this raid before. Hold on.
Literally how some chef in I don't even know where he was from, to be honest. But that's how he was. That's how he was like doing stuff. He was sprinkling salt on stuff, just like yeah, $1,000 steaks. Literally, like just basically, so that people could have a like just to say that they've been there. They're like, oh yeah, we had his stuff. It was good. I mean, probably was.
And from what I heard, a lot of people say that the food is kind of mediocre. It's not the best. All it is because he has gold foil on it, and it's just Salt Bay. It's the name.
It's a name. It's a name. It's a branding. Yeah.
So the steak is like not the best.
Well, you know what? I would assume. I would even say like, I wouldn't even say it's not the best. I would just say be like, no, it's probably pretty good. I mean, if you probably have it, you're like, no, this is a baller steak.
It's probably good, but you probably can get a better steak from like Outback or Longhorn.
Right, for quite less than $1,000. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, it's like last time we went to Vegas, there's like a little candy or like snack store in front of Bellagio or near it, and they were selling the $1,000 sundae. It was just regular sundae with gold leaf flakes in it. That's pretty much it. We didn't order. We just saw on the menu like, who the hell will pay this? I want some ice cream sprinkled with flakes. Gold flakes.
I used to work with a guy who was a professional chef in Philly for a while, and he had a it was like time it was $100 cheesesteak or something like that. But I mean, like, inflation probably charging a lot more for it now. I don't know.
10 grand now.
It'd be the $500 cheesesteak, and it like foie gras and Kobe beef and whatever. And the weirdest part is that that day at work, like, I don't want to say I was arguing with him over something, but I was like, they brought him in to the company because he was just like brother of the CEO.
Oh my
Jesus.
God. Holy shit.
My big boy.
So big and moist.
I love him.
Bulbous.
But it was
Not
basically like,
purple.
yeah, he was like the brother of the family member of the CEO or something like that. So they brought him in to work for the company as sort of like a, you know, I don't even know. But so I was basically not arguing, but I was basically like, this is he flies, my big boy flies. Fantastic. And so it was like, you know, just standard thing. But I was like, no, dude, you got to, you know, got to do it this way. This is the way that the FDA wants us to do it. We have to do it this way. And, you know, blah, 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 blah. And he was like, oh, are you sure about that? Because we could do it this. Like, no, dude, we have to do it this way. And so basically I came home and I was like, man, like all day with that guy. And then my wife was like, she's like, oh, what do you want to watch? And I was like, I don't know, maybe like some Food Network thing or whatever. And so we're looking through and she's like, how about like best sandwiches I ever ate? I'm like, that sounds delicious. Best sandwiches I ever ate. So she turned on something like that and it was like, number 2, this guy I saw at work all day, his like $100 cheesesteak. And I was like, fuck that.
Did you go, nope, I'm done. Change.
Yeah. No, I watched it because at that point I was just, I don't know, just sickly fascinated. I was like, well, okay, let me see this fucking thing so I can make fun of him tomorrow for it.
All right, so people have to click. We have new people, by the way. I couldn't even
Nice.
queue it first because they hadn't picked up the mission from the board yet.
Okay. Goodbye, my tall boy. Let me get a nice screenshot of him. I really can't from this close, but it's a very awkward screenshot I'm taking of him.
You take a screenshot of colonoscopy.
Just up and inside as he goes up.
Hey, we're not doing episode 1 of The Boys season 4 or whatever.
We're not?
Nope.
Just can't use graffiti to rub his belly. I can't. I'm inside of him. Every time I took a step, he would cover me.
That's what she said.
You literally stepped right into it.
Okay, I mean, it got worse too. The way that I was thinking, I was like, when you
when the moon got pizza
give me a couple of
pie.
seconds and I can post those pics. You visit certain websites.
Ah,
Yeah, I don't know how to say it tactfully. Sorry.
it's some kind of hub.
You might recognize the view. We'll just leave it at that. Yes, exactly. Come on, man.
Oh, I didn't.
We have everybody. Okay, I'm just making sure we got everybody.
I forgot to switch Ellie focuses.
We gotta have that's a quote we have to do.
Rub his belly. I can't.
Okay, now I have the right Ellie focus. I like put on abilities for a frozen figurine build and then forgot to swap the frozen figurine.
I don't think we have to necessarily explain a whole bunch to the new people.
I know where the lore is.
Oh, I forget where all the lore is.
Just one. Your waffle's still. Is that massively delayed, or are you still walking up here?
Help is on the way, dear. No, I'm taking a I'm like Gandalf. Okay, I'm
In
never
what?
late or early.
I'm never late. I arrive exactly when I mean to.
Precisely.
He disappeared. Okay, so these people are gonna have fun. Yep, it's a giant leet now. Enjoy. We're fighting leet.
Holy shit! Shit just got real. You know what's funny is like, this is some people's first fucking raid ever.
This is the first time that a couple of these people are in this, and holy crap, the blood is spurting everywhere.
Oh, I can't
I'm
see the
getting hit
fist
by all kinds of
lines.
stuff I can't even see.
Oh, that's not cool.
I don't know what's going on here.
So
It's
he
a-
has no fists. We have shadow happening.
Oh, yep.
But oh my god, what the fuck is going on?
What is all the red stuff?
I was running away. I'm like, oh, I see all this red.
What happened to the sky? Okay, never mind. It's fine. Everything's fine. Everything's
This is fine.
It's fine.
Everything's fine. How are you?
How are you today?
Is it normal? What?
Things feel broken.
Nope, it's gonna be something else now.
No,
It's
it's
back.
back to normal.
I think it
It's
just
back.
reset.
It did. It did reset.
It was too late.
Sorry to the people who are joining this raid for the first time. We quite apologize. Not really.
Shadow now.
I'm trying not to get too close.
Wait, what the fuck? No, it's really wait. It's supposed to be a shadow.
It's not doing anything.
Okay.
I don't think it's losing health. I know it is. It's still losing health. It's just literally not doing anything.
Ha! Someone really broke this raid.
Easiest New York raid ever.
Road is it's now easy mode. These people are like, is it supposed to be this easy?
People are gonna go back, tell our friends, you know what, this New York raid, it was actually pretty easy.
The New York raid.
Here, I'll show you. Come on.
They talk about it being difficult. I don't know what they're talking about. Gosh darn it.
I put it in chat so they know, like,
I was wondering what.
It's almost dead.
Yep, getting there. We'll see what happens. What it dies.
And a new one comes up.
And right, 5 more show up. Or just turns into I don't even know. Nope, we won. Totally won.
Easy clap.
Do you think anyone noticed?
Yeah.
To make a joke. Look, I don't make policy, but the way I see it, news of this gets out and it's all over.
Giant chicken nugget.
Is that all you care about? Plausible denial?
Well, it doesn't need to be all that plausible. As long as people are given an excuse to ignore this, that's what they want. It's what we want. I've no doubt it's in the dragon's interest too.
The dragon wants answers.
No, you don't. You want to consolidate power like everyone else. You just use bigger words.
Snap. So that was something.
Yeah, that broke really hard.
Yeah, it did. In a fun way, though.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm not mad about it. Story mode's pretty easy, but like the new people they are not going to know what to do when the raid actually happens.
Nope, not even a little.
Like, what do you mean there's not a giant weird thing? And then
what do you mean? What do you mean the raid
phases?
boss doesn't even attack you?
You have to run away and then do a phase with ads and then birds and like nope. Just stands there.
It just stands there and just takes it all. That was amazing. Truly, that was amazing. Yeah, that's right. They should have got it. Well, you know what? They should have known ahead of time because we had a giant
lead.
Yeah, but they don't know. They literally had to go pick up the mission. They'd never done the raid before.
Oh no, right. So maybe they didn't see the giant pet that I had just checking out there.
They didn't even know how to do that. It's like the newest you could be doing the raid.
Easy.
That's fucking funny.
Now is not the time to argue.
Nope. So yeah, sorry about that. Devs love messing with us. So yeah, take all the pictures. Time to take all the pictures. Being in Times Square. So whatever dev was doing that, thank you.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
That was pretty dang fun. And it's not like I mean, we weren't gonna, we weren't gonna wipe to it anyway. It wasn't gonna be a thing.
No,
we could solo this.
It reminds me of reminds me of when Andy was following someone around in like dungeons and shit.
Mm-hmm.
And there was like brand new dungeon people, and then there's like in Polaris, there's a fucking giant Hitodama creature. You know, the multi ghost thing, like just appears in Polaris of all places and starts like throwing shit around. They're like, what the fuck is this? Like they're never gonna see that again.
Like
It's not part of the dungeon.
Yeah. Same thing here. You'll never really see a elite just showing up in Times Square.
Oh, it was when Fairasalt was streaming and cosplaying as Andy. Like he was dressed up.
Oh
as
yes,
Andy,
yes.
And he had an in-game character named Andy, like dressed as Andy. And then I sent Andy a DM on Twitter. I was like, "You need to see this right now." And then he showed up and started fucking with him. And following him around in game and doing weird shit. So it was like Andy to the power of 3. There was like real Andy, cosplay Andy, and then character in game Andy. Well, I guess maybe 4. I don't know. Either way, it was fucking hilarious.
Shenanigans, yeah.
Shenanigans.
I said, so if you want it, we can re-queue so you can see what the fight is really like, or they might mess with us again. Who knows? It's all good. We love it either way. That's A+, yeah.
Like port to New York.
A ludicrous of Andes. I like it. Jimmy left. What?
I went to New York.
Oh yeah.
Turning the mission.
And I left too.
All right.
You have to leave the requeue.
Oh, one of them said could do once more.
Okay. A tin of Andes. There you go.
What are the mints they give you after you're done a dinner at Olive Garden?
Andy mints.
And Andes, right? Andes mints.
Who was the one that said they could go again?
Travail. Travail.
Are they still in the instance, or did they leave?
I do not know.
Because you left?
Yeah, I left too.
Okay. Actually, I can.
Otherwise known as a malarkey. A malarkey of Andes.
And I sent Ocho invite, but he's ignoring it.
I was in the middle of the.
God.
I like me some Dave Screed. Dave Screed is all right in my book. You see this Muse? They wanted to do it again. No, they're collecting all kinds of stuff from New York.
Yeah, they're pretty new, I think.
Fantastic.
Need the Screed was right shirt. Wait, I think I have that.
I want to believe in Screed.
Yeah, I have the Screed was right shirt. You need the professional cover-up achievement. So I'm not sure if you're just saying you need help with the achievement, or if you didn't know that there was actually that shirt in game. But that shirt is in game. It's actually not super difficult to get. I think it's E10. I want to say, but the thing is, like, so you need one filth ad to get 10 stacks. It's got to get res 10 times, which means you can't kill the last Titan. Which really isn't a big deal because the last bird takes forever anyways. I remember arguing about this with my Cabal group at the time, back when E10 was still kind of like not a guarantee. Like it was difficult. But I was like, guys,
need it in real life and in the game.
I was like, guys, it's not adding a layer of difficulty, because it's gonna take 2 minutes for the fucking bird to fly down and get killed anyways. You're not doing anything. So instead, you have the one tank just kite the Titan around in a circle while everyone beats the shit out of one ad 10 times. And then you kill the Titan and the bird. Like it literally took like no extra time. But yeah, I can show the shirt, I guess.
I would say all you would really need, I guess, is just a group that just wants to do it.
You just need a coordinated group, that's all.
Yeah.
This is the shirt, by the way. Waffle.
Yeah. Enhance.
Enhance.
Zoom and enhance.
Screed was right.
Wish it was a better image.
That's what she said. Yeah, that's the shirt.
I can't enhance anymore or he disappears.
Yeah, you can't really read the paper.
That's it back at Jimmy.
That's what she said. Just do it to every line. Let's see. Let me look at my see what sort of screenshots I got from this. Oh, it's lovely. It's lovely. Here you go. I'll put them in our I'll put them in our 0 Point Report general channel.
It's for her pleasure, so it's okay.
These are excellent screenshots.
Very nice.
I thought I saw a putty cat. I did. Oh my god.
It's a big boy. Yes, you too. My cat's over here murring.
I literally just fought something like this in Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Thanks, I hate it. You want to see my cat?
It's right there on the screen.
Almost.
Hold on.
Mine's a tuxedo.
Actually,
if you go onto my Twitter, I post a couple pictures for.
Oh, that's my cat.
Yeah, that's yours.
I'm like, why is it following me? Oh yeah. I want to take a picture. Go away. Stop following me.
Nope. Did you see the picture I posted of the Drog Lord pup and the view that I had?
Yeah, I put that on screen. I was gonna put that one on.
That was quite elite. Was I supposed to sign up on the board again? Options were great after getting the invite.
I'm answering.
Not really.
Got it. I was just waiting for other people.
I'll say it's up. Wait, it's on the board.
Paragon board is where you pick up the mission. Yes.
It's not all roads lead to Rome. It's not Into Darkness.
I don't think it'll be there if you just did the raid.
Yeah, probably not. It's not Venetian Missile Crisis, and it's not Rogue Agent. Those are the ones that are showing up for me. So
it's because you just did it.
Yeah.
You can't pick it up again until next week.
We'll knock it over. No knocking stuff over.
I must knock it over.
but I must.
All right. No one else is really responding, so I guess we'll just go like this.
Excuse me.
The jackalope. Now that's the Arctic hare. I do have the jackalope, but I have the Arctic hare out right now.
The comparison size between one kitty and the
You can
other
get out the
kitty.
jackalope.
I have a lot of pets.
Oh, so yeah, you probably have more pets than.
I was trying to get them all. I'm still missing some.
And we got 2 big kitties.
Oh no!
Oh, wait. We got 3? Yeah, we got 3.
The hell is going on here?
What in the hell?
What in tarnation?
Your boy's been
Oh fuck!
Is one of them yours, Jimmy? No.
No, I have
Also,
my.
Jimmy, you should bring out the Kylani's
my-
cats.
Oh yeah, the glaring of kayaks.
Get all the cats together. What are you doing?
There we go. Yeah, but they're limited. Like they disappear after a little bit.
Yeah, that's true. Hey,
They get sacrificed to the cat god.
hey, no, we need this paperwork.
Whereas I think
hell you do.
the kitten carrier ones stay out. It's only like 3, but these ones stay out.
I can just imagine new people coming in. They just got through New York or London, wherever they came through. They come into
As we
America.
showed, that one person, that someone just did the raid for the first time. That was their first time in the raid.
I think a
But-
couple of people just did actually.
Yeah.
But they get that first jump point from the main to here, and all of a sudden, like, what the hell?
It's like, what is that?
What's going on here?
What's going on?
Everything is
Like-
true.
Listen. I don't know what you're doing. She's causing shenanigans now. She literally is doing this just because she hears me talking over here, and she's like, I don't know what's going on. I'm just gonna cause nonsense around you.
All right. Like you again?
Sure.
Why not?
Why not? Let's go for it.
Sure, I'll go with DPS again. Now, do kitties this size, when they die, do they make a loud thump? Oh, guess what, guys? I'm a healer.
Nice. I think I was healer last time.
We're gonna die.
I got your back.
I'm the healer. We're gonna die, guys. That's what your shirt says.
Yep.
Nice.
Guys, I'm a healer. We're gonna die.
We're gonna die. We got new people again?
Hello, new
no,
people.
well, I think. Well, pirate. I don't think it's new.
Oh, you're already
You-
in. Okay, you've already went in.
You should be in as well.
I am. It just took me a while to load. I was waiting for other people to join in, and then I realized, no, wait, I'm far behind.
All right, don't worry, guys. I'll get this.
Waffle will save us all.
Yep. Hop in, folks. Come into my backpack. I'll carry you. Where do I go? Oh, over there.
Run in. 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 Run
Keep
in.
running.
No.
So if you go all the way to this back wall here, you come out of combat when waiting for the second bird. You guys already killed the first bird. Never mind. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
For future reference, you can go to that back
Catch
wall
up.
and you'll actually come out of combat, which means your health goes up and all that shit. Yeah, pirates E17. Just that's all.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
was
that's
familiar. I was like, they're new to the group, as in they weren't in the group before, but they're not new to the game.
I was like, well, then if he's E17, then he shouldn't mind seeing all kinds of fun stuff. If the lurker wants to change into something else, I'm just saying.
Let's see. What will it turn into next?
I don't mind if it turns into something. You're like, you can't see its attacks. That's fine.
Shadow.
That's fine.
Oh.
I spent a little too long.
Mistakes were made.
Yeah, it's gonna hurt. Not really.
Yeah, it's story mode. It doesn't hurt that bad.
Yeah.
I was behind a police car.
Look, this fight has actual mechanics. Who knew?
No.
What is this? What nonsense? This is not what I signed up for. This is ridiculous.
We signed up for nonsense.
I'm going to complain on the forums.
First time I was in this fight, it wasn't this hard.
That's what she said.
Shadow? Maybe?
She's as big as the sky. That's That's a big bitch. Her eye lasers wouldn't one-shot the raid unless you stood in them. They don't even one-shot you in that sequence because you can just run around them. That's like the whole point. Actually, I don't even think then they one-shot you. I'm pretty sure I've been hit by them before.
Some people pay extra for that.
Oh.
Step on me, giant.
Oh, what's that? The vampire lady in
Mhm.
Resident Evil 8. Yeah.
Mhm.
Lady Damaskio or whatever her name is.
Ooh.
Oh.
Something like that.
Lady D.
Yes.
Yep. That's the one. Yep. Trousers are bloody velvet.
It did.
It's just trying to live its best life.
That lurker is no more. It has ceased to be.
It's an ex-lurker. It's pining for the fjords.
Yeah,
But it was not Leet. No.
this was not elite.
No.
Severely
Pretty far
disappointed.
from Leet, that one. Dewberry, I think they're okay. You can stop now.
And that's what the Raiders supposed to look like.
Yeah, that's what it... In case anyone was wondering.
What? You mean like credit cards?
Do you really want to know the answer to that question?
I thought you were going to start singing the song.
Manchester, England, England.
Hey, there's cats in Agartha.
Across the Atlantic Sea. No, that song, excuse me. So yeah, I guess we should talk about the stuff that happened.
And it wasn't that much
What?
stuff.
Yeah,
There was some. There was.
we
some
could start. So, if anyone was paying attention over the past month or so to Secret World news, they would have noticed that it was the end of Secret World's anniversary event in Secret World Legends, but also the 10th anniversary of Secret World itself. And being the 10-year anniversary, YouTuber and Twitch streamer Catboiler hosted a Secret World 10th anniversary stream on July 3rd, hosting it and interviewing Joe Bylos and Joshua Doetsch at giant cats. It's just a floating cat.
No, like in the center, guys. In the center.
In the center?
Yeah, like in the like where the bank is and shit.
I'll bring
like-
my cat over.
Oh, I see it.
It's like there's now a giant ghost cat. Holy shit.
It's the best. In the mall. The mall.
Algartha.
So they're hosted a 10-year anniversary stream with Joel Bylos. And if you want to see the interview, because he did an interview with both Scrivenomancer and Joel Bylos separately.
All
Those
three
are
of
on
my-
YouTube on Catboiler's YouTube channel.
All three of my the Ruboys ones, they're following me. They're fucking giant. I can't even zoom out enough to see this shit.
No, you can't. Got you. I got you. It's like a messed up Cerberus.
I was going to say it's a cat version of Cerberus.
I got you in some messed up way.
Beautiful. Oh, they all got pissed off at the same time. That was cool looking.
see how these can't turned out.
That's super cool looking.
There you go, Jimmy. 2 more posted in your cat Cerberus. Why not? Post the one
yeah.
from before raid too.
We got more now.
I see a red one. Someone has a red one.
Oh, there's toe beans.
Bring out your cat party.
That's pretty great.
But it was an interesting
So the
stream.
Yeah, I would say not only did they turn on the event, they actually turned on 2 events at the same time.
Mm-hmm. You see, they turned on in Secret World. They turned on the anniversary golems and the golden golems too.
Yes. Yeah. So there was multiple.
Oh, and was there was another one too? Was there the one with the
I think it was just the 2. I think it was golden, and then the one where the
gatekeeper, the one with the gatekeeper.
Yeah, but he walks around. Like I don't know if they turned on the Gatekeeper raid, but I mean maybe that might have been part of the golem event actually. But the Gatekeeper walks around and summons.
This is just pure chaos. I love it.
I fucking love the Nurgle cat.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, Garden's Guy and the Gilded Rage Golden Week. Yeah, that's what there was active on TSW. Which on my side-by-side playthrough, I actually got to do one of the golems on that brand new character.
Nice. We post. There you go. This is the chaos going on inside. I think I got everyone's large cat in that in that picture. Oh, maybe not the red one. Maybe not the
There's a
red
red
ghosty
ghost
over
cat
here.
now.
Yeah. There's gonna be so many hairballs now.
Oh, I'm not cleaning these things up.
Yeah, I ain't cleaning this. Sorry.
Oh.
But the
Dude.
interview with Joel Bylos was very interesting. If
Someone
you
killed my cats.
someone brought out one of the
You bastard.
It killed all 3 of mine because it's a single pet.
yeah.
It's a single pet, even though it's 3 cats. So like it killed all of them.
Who would dare? Yeah, what monster? What monster is bringing out that? If anyone ever asked, and they're like, "What is
Horrific.
the worst item that was introduced in Secret World?" I'd be hard pressed to say anything but the assault automaton. Like it's just a fun ruiner.
Yeah, everybody's having fun. They got their cats out, showing
Now I
them
got-
off.
Now I have 2 red cats and a purple instead of 2 yellow and a purple.
Everybody's cats. Let's do it.
Okay, I'll get my cat out.
Oh, you haven't brought one out?
I got the Smiler cat.
That's not a cat.
Like I think it's a cat. Yes. Yeah. Come here.
It's pretty great.
Meow. Come here.
It's a catastrophe.
This is the Secret World. We're doing a Secret World version of the musical Cats tonight.
Memories.
Playing the role of Scrimbleshanks will be Two-Tone Waffle.
All the buttholes will be CGI.
all the buttholes will be CGI. Can be anything but. If you want to pick a cat to play, speak now. Mr. Mistopheles will be played by Jimmy_the_Rabbit.
Playground in here.
It's pure chaos. This is great. They're blocking the light sources. What you doing? What are you doing? So yes, the 10th anniversary, as we said, Secret World has just passed, and we are celebrating tonight with cats. But if you watch the Joel Bylos interview, he went over and said that they already had planned out to 24 issues for Secret World. And they only got up to 15. But the next locales were going to be King Solomon's Mines, the Congo, which we know about the Congo, Scotland, Avalon, the Sargasso Sea, and Guatemala.
Guatemala.
And in Guatemala was the Fountain of Youth.
Yeah, I mean everything was kind of pointing that way.
Yeah.
It's been pointing that way for a while, actually.
Mm-hmm. And he said that's where the vined dinosaurs were to originate. The dinosaurs that survived in South America, corrupted by drinking from the fountain.
Yeah.
And we see hints of that in
See that in South Africa.
in
with the
South
cat.
Africa.
Yeah, there's a vine cat that you can let out of the cage.
So many big kitties. Right, but I'm thinking like even okay, so Scotland and Avalon. I mean, they sort of had the envoys of Avalon.
Yeah.
They brought some of that over.
I mean, that's the crazy thing though about Secret World is like you kind of have to like play it through a few times because there's seeds of everything like way back in the beginning. Like there's mission turns and stuff and all kinds of shit that talk about things that are like fucking literally years later.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the Sargasso Sea was going to be one of them, but the Sargasso Sea was where the Lady Margaret was.
Yeah.
When it found the sword and it came back to Solomon Island.
Oh, wrong.
What happened with your
Sorry,
quote
I was
there?
trying to get that quote in.
Rub his belly? I can't. I'm inside of him. Absolutely.
Agent Missions had Guatemala and Fountain of Youth.
There
Yeah,
we
but I believe Guatemala and Fountain of Youth are actually in other parts of the game as well. Like there's mention of that.
Mm-hmm.
There certainly is in South Africa in the computers for sure. But I think depending on the faction you are, I think there's even some stuff. There's stuff. Yeah, there's Falfel and Gideon, but I think there's even stuff earlier in the game than that.
People
wanna
are bringing
say-
out their cats.
I want to say about Beaumont, like
They're like, make them big.
I think there's stuff related to Beaumont that's meant that like mentions some of that, like even earlier than South Africa. Yeah, I know it's in Falfel, but I'm saying I think there's some other mentions of it earlier in the game. It's been a little while, and my memory's kind of shit, but I want to say there's some faction turn-in somewhere earlier in the game that mentioned something about
We just need to take all the turn-in text
some of that stuff.
and just put it into a searchable database.
Like a database.
I
or
mean, I can
something.
just grab the text, I think.
You can create a lathe.
Yeah,
A
I will
lathe-
say the thing that
A
always
lathe
weirds
of turning
me
text.
out about
Yeah.
Beaumont that I haven't quite
Mm.
figured out exactly is that Beaumont is looking in the Illuminati archives for shit. But when you find the archives, the thing he was looking at talks about Beaumont doing stuff with the mine. So it's like Beaumont's looking for shit that Beaumont did. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Which is
Well,
like, okay, well, does he not know? Is it a different Beaumont? Does when he like I don't know, regens or whatever, does he like lose memories or something? Like there's
Or
a
was
weird...
it just like a was it just like a Loki was just spoiler, sorry. Loki was just taking over the name of Beaumont.
Yeah, I'm not really sure how they're doing there.
And was
but I
Beaumont actually a real individual at some point?
was not trying to cover his tracks. He's the whole point in the early part of Solomon Island is Beaumont's trying to find the lock. Like he has the sword.
Mhm.
He's got Excalibur. That's gonna let him fuck with the Gaia engine. He can't find where to use it. And
He
eventually,
doesn't realize the lock is the Gaia engine.
he might even know the lock Gaia engine, but he doesn't know where it is. Like you
Also
actually
possible.
go open the shaft and like let him in there. He's like you remove the wards and at the mine area, and he even tells you like I could have gotten in here without you. Like you let me in your base. Like you stormed in like a bull in a china shop, and he just came in after you, and it's like, all right, I'm gonna set up shop here now. This is what I'm gonna do.
I was watching a stream the other night of somebody playing through that beginning part of Solomon Island where he Cassie and Beaumont and watching that scene again, it was like that scene is chock full of stuff.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like they
that
had
scene
it
is
planned
dead
out.
with
They
information.
had like the arc. They had like the arc. They had the major plot points down from like before the game started.
Yeah.
Like now, as far as like how you get from point A to B, my understanding is no, like that's not how it works.
Yeah.
But the general arc was there from the jump. They had the thing, and they even had like major points. And now as the game develops, you're filling in.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're filling in detail, but the structure is there. Which is why there's so much laid in the early stuff that you don't even know the foundation is being laid. You don't recognize it as that.
Yeah,
Just some
like
random bullshit.
be like, and they throw that scene which has Cassie and Beaumont, and it's chock filled with stuff, right? He touches on the Gaia engines, he touches on the sword and what the sword actually is, and and he touches on all of that, and it's like you're literally throwing that at a brand new player. There's
Well,
Yeah,
it's
you
also
don't
like
you don't get that correlation until much later.
the
till
morning
much
light
later,
is
yeah.
like a hippie camp you don't give a shit about. You don't realize how important they are.
right. You're like, it's just a hippie camp, and what's
But this Chafe fellow, he's pretty cool.
Cassie? It's like oh, it's just it's Cassie.
Yeah, none of that at
Hanging out
that
at the
point
hippie
in the
camp.
game.
Like, no,
has,
she's somebody. She absolutely is somebody.
yeah, none of that has any kind of weight really yet. And then it's like
Mhm.
later on you were like or on like second or third playthrough, you're like, wait a minute, hold on.
Yeah, hold up now.
Or it's like when you realize that the helper at the end of Darkness War is like boss 3 in Polaris. You're like, whoa, hold on a minute. Wait a gosh darn second.
Yeah, hold up now.
The Varangian, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, there's all kinds of like really layered stuff.
There's so many cats.
It's fantastic.
Like this, like I always like think of like Savage Coast. Like Carter talks about she talks about people that she's talked to, like friends she has or something. And I think one of the friends is essentially Emma, and I think the other one is Young from Tokyo. If I'm not mistaken, that one's a little fuzzy. but I'm pretty sure she references very vaguely to other people with like powers that she's sort of like aware of, or like, I don't know, writes letters to or some shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
But based on the like description, you're like, after like, you know, multiple playthroughs, when you stumble upon that and read that little turn, you're like, wait a minute. Hold on a sec. Because that would have made no, like, it's not that it would have made sense. You would have no frame of reference. First time playing through, you would have no way of knowing who the hell she's referencing. Nor would you think to store that away. It doesn't seem important at all.
That's why it almost feels like, I don't say Secret World was like ahead of its time necessarily, but like Secret World was during a time when people were playing games and they were just like, oh no, you just skip all that. You just skip all the lore, you just play the game and whatnot. It's just like, no, they're throwing it at you.
Yeah, because a lot of people were coming from like World of Warcraft and other type of games, like, oh, skip the cutscene, hit spacebar.
Yeah, this is just a whatever quest. It's not important, and it's like
they're all important.
Yeah, it's all important.
They're all important. Oh, speaking of that, so I got to Egypt in the side-by-side playthrough.
Okay. Well, actually, let's take a step back for a second, if it's okay. Let's talk about that right now.
Jimmy, that's what I'm saying.
Yes, Jimmy has been playing on his own Twitch channel. He's been doing a side-by-side playthrough of both the Secret World and Secret World Legends, going through individually, quest by quest, text line by text line, encounter by encounter.
Lack of water bottle to not lack of water bottle. For
randomly fencing to non-random fencing.
Because Jack Boone didn't have water in TSW, I'll have you know, but he's got water in Legends. So
someone was like, "Why doesn't he have water? He can't survive. He should have a couple water bottles there."
Yeah, he's got a water jug now. So, but I got to Egypt. I 100%ed Solomon Island. Got to Egypt and ran into something I don't think I'd really run into yet, which is, so they cut missions in Legends, sort of. There's actually missions. There's like 3 missions that you can't pick up. They're not missions you can pick up and rerun. They're just not. They're not missions, but they're part of the storyline. So rather than, you know how like in Blue Mountain, as part of the storyline, it'll say go do X mission.
Right.
So rather than doing it that way, they straight up cut the mission, but like took the mission content, cinematics included, and made it part of the blue line. Like your next tier is just go do this thing, and it's really that mission. Made it really weird to try and run parallel, partly because in TSW that mission's locked behind 2 other missions. So I had to go do those missions first, side by side, to like get everything synced as possible. So far, I kind of get it. Like some of those missions were like, they basically cut the fat. So you didn't lose content. Cinematics are there. The main thrust of the mission is there. I guess technically you lost a mission turn in text, but they cut like filler. Like one of the missions has like 2 or 3 defense waves that are really long. And in the version that's in Legends, it's not a mission. It's just part of the blue line. You have one small defense thing that lasts like, I don't know, 3 waves or something. And then you just move on with your day. So like, it's because it's not repeatable mission content that's meant to like chew time. It's shorter and quicker. And my best guess at this point as to why is they wanted them to be part of the storyline, but they were already shoving in the entirety of issue 6 into the storyline for Scorched Desert.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
So moving it from the end of the game to the middle, or to the leveling.
But also just making it part of the mandatory story. Like you have to do Last Train to Cairo to get the statues to open up City of the Sun God. Like it's mandatory. You have to do like a 6 issue or a 6 mission chain. Right. And so I think these other missions like would have been maybe too much. Like just too
Okay.
many missions that the chain requires you to, that the storyline requires you to do. If that makes sense.
I can see that.
We don't want to require you to do 30 missions to get through Scorched Desert. You can do 30 missions if you want, but we don't want the blue line to mandatorily require you to do fucking like this many missions in a row.
Did it take those missions and made them like side missions, or
No, it subsumed them into the blue line itself. Like it made them a tier. So rather than its own mission, blue, like the black, was it Black Sun, Red
Sands,
right?
Yeah.
Like, tier 10 is, go to the butcher shop. Well, go to the butcher shop part is a fucking mission on its own. That when you go to the tea house, when you go to the tea house in Legends and it like auto does shit, the tea house in TSW had 2 missions there you could pick up. Those missions aren't there in Legends because you don't pick them up. They're just part of the storyline. So they're not repeatable. That is the one thing. They're not repeatable.
Excuse me. Well, I drank straight from the jug. It's okay. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt with that. Oh,
no, it's all right.
Yeah.
So,
and that ain't tea either.
That it was tea.
So anyways, the base content's there, but they did trim it. Like I said, they trimmed the defense waves down.
So they more like condensed it.
Yeah.
But
also, you still have to do just as much, but it's just not its own separate.
No, you don't have to do just as much. That is the point. They cut fat from the mission.
Oh, okay.
Like instead of like 3 defense waves, it's 1 defense wave. I don't know if it was 3 or 2, but like in the mission you picked up, you had to go to multiple points and do defense waves, and they were long as fuck. And in Legends, as part of like a tier, you just go defend the main door for like a minute, and then you go through the door. Right? It's like a lot quicker. Yeah, like Valmer said, it's the Fate of Almeria and From Oxford with Love are the 2. No, wait, that doesn't sound right. Those are the 2 at the tea house, but I don't think I actually did Oxford with Love yet. The other one I did was the something Cairo. It's a sabotage mission that you pick up from the Phoenician snake lady. Yeah, I don't think I got to run Oxford. But I will, because from Carthage to Cairo. I will get to run that one. It's just, it may also be slightly changed. So from Carthage to Cairo
got there yet.
Is the one that has like the bombing. Then you have to go like save people. And I gotta say, the defense part in TSW for that mission is fucking awful.
Okay.
It just really feels clunky. Like it feels clunky as shit. And I'm glad they changed that. It was easier in Legends, but it's not even about it being easier. It's just like mechanically, it felt really clunky. I also did the mission that's not over in Legends at all, which is like the faction mission, the London Underground.
Mm-hmm.
Which is like, if you're a Templar, is a defense mission. That was also clunky as all hell. Like it just felt super clunky. And which is really the only instances in the whole, like I'm like 15 streams in, right? At like an average of like 3 hours a stream.
Mm-hmm.
And this I think it was last night, it might be the first time I really felt like these were stuff in TSW that was actually like clunky. Like,
oh, okay.
Like it felt like alpha shit or something. Like I know why that didn't come over to Legends, because they needed to. It would have stood out like a sore thumb.
It would have slowed down the story progression.
Well, I don't think you could have used the way you use mortars in Legends is different. Like you interact with the mortar in Legends, right? And then you have your mouse free and your character's like locked there. That wouldn't work in the one in Scorched Desert that has the mortar, because you have to like click the mortar, and then you actually have to move around so that you can see to place the reticle, because there's shit in the way. But because of the way TSW works, you can like click the mortar and then move your character 3 feet to the right and look this way and like click and put a thing. Like you wouldn't be able to do that. Like Valmer said, yeah, there was the London Underground NPCs. There was spells that had 3 sets of like XX. It's like, which you can tell is like really early. Like that's another sign that it was kind of felt beta-ish, right? Or like out, like I don't know, it felt clunky. Also, the turrets down there sucked giant donkey ball. Like when you place a turret, it literally faces like beeline that direction. So if you don't realize that it's not gonna like auto adjust at all. And then, except the second time, because I died the first time, the second time through, I realized, well, it does sometimes auto adjust, but not the way you would like it to, and not unless there's something in front of it. What I mean by that is, so you set the turret and it's got like a straight line, and if some enemy comes into range, it doesn't give a fuck unless it runs in front of the laser, and then it's gonna shoot and tag it. But it appeared once it tagged one, if that thing like went around behind it, it would turn to try and follow the target, right? But once that guy's dead, it just stays where it turned. So my turret turned all the way around, right? Completely all the way around to face the thing I was protecting because the guy had gotten past it to kill the guy. Now the next wave's coming and it's facing the wrong way. And it doesn't turn around. For it to turn around, another guy would have to get past, get hit, and that guy would have to run around the front, and that would cause the turret to like turn back around to the front. Like these are the fucking most god-awful turrets on the face of the planet. Yeah, the prototype weapon hit. Yeah, like okay, so London Underground is a faction-specific mission, and depending on which faction you play, plays out very differently. Templars are defending. I think Loomies are attacking, and I forget what dragons are doing. I think they're just trying to fuck with shit.
Fair.
But they're usually do.
Like all three play that very differently. But I can say from the Templar defense part, it felt clunky as all fuck. Like it was not about TSW's like ability wheel. It's not about the ability system. It's just the design of the encounter and how they plan for you to deal with stuff just felt really raw. Like it didn't go through enough iterations. And the fact that it still had prototype weapon hits in it probably was not good either. They have like placeholder text still. This seems like probably not a good thing. But yeah. So similar to that, I think it's the From Carthage to Cairo mission that got sort of merged into the storyline in Legends. That one in TSW was also really clunky, but it's again because it was using like a mortar and then using some remotes that detonated explosives. But there's like 3 or 4 remotes that you could click, but you couldn't tell what they went to until you blew them up. So there was no indication, like when I hit this remote, like which area it was going to blow up. So I just like slapped them all. You just interact with all of them and explosions go off. And you're like, okay, great. That didn't help because the guys are coming in from over here. So that one felt super, super clunky. And like the way the mortar was set up and the way the environment was set up, you had your own rubble. Some of the rubble was in the way. So like you couldn't target things with your mortar unless you actually like clicked use on the mortar so you have the reticle to place and then walk your character 3 feet this way and then turn. And now I can place the reticle where I needed to. But if I'm standing at the mortar, which is where you would expect, which is what Legend does, right? It locks you to the mortar spot. Like you literally can't move the reticle because there's geometry in the way. I don't know. But also, it is the first time and so far that I've seen any missions that like you couldn't pick up.
Hmm.
Like I've seen side
Okay.
missions cut. This is the first time I've seen main missions that aren't really cut per se, but they're not repeatable. Those 3 missions, you technically do the content for in Legends,
Right.
but you cannot repeat them.
Interesting.
So those missions in TSW, you could go do every day, right? And you'd be like, I'm gonna go do from Cross to Cairo like every goddamn day for you know the loot bag or whatever. I can kind of see why, like storyline wise, it kind of makes sense, I guess. They seem.
So you'd be the one to know, basically, because
Well,
you're seeing the direct comparison.
I will say this: there are also missions that seem in some fashion tied to the train. Like in Legends, they changed one of the. They changed. I think it's the Fate of Almeria mission.
Okay.
There's a commander you kill in a box with a note that does not exist in TSW, and that note talks about the shipment, the Phoenicians and the shipment, which is like the whole point is like you go stop the shipment of the train, right?
Yeah, I mean basically the whole
So,
point. Yeah.
I believe part of it is these missions specifically kind of dovetail in with Saeed and the whole like he did the operation that gets shit out of the desert, right? Like that's what he was involved with.
Right. That's why. Yeah. His
So I
character is
think
very gray.
they took those missions and sort of like massaged them a little bit, added a little, like a literal actual graphic that doesn't exist in TSW, sort of like a little note, like, hey, we're doing this with these shipments. And they made that sort of kind of work the issue 6 into the story.
Okay. So what you're saying is, at least in your playthrough of currently in Egypt, that a lot of stuff has changed around.
Yeah, like way more than I think anything so far. Like mostly in Salmon Island, it'd been stuff like missions in different orders.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, Legends requires you to do missions. Like Legends will be like, no, you must go do this. And TSW was like, like Legends will have like 19 tiers for the blue storyline, and TSW have like 10. It'll be like, just go here. Legends is like, okay, but now go do this mission. But now go do this mission. And all those missions exist in TSW. It just didn't make you do them as part of the storyline.
Right.
Right. So like that's kind of how the only things that were like really cut or different mostly were side missions that were breadcrumb missions. Little tiny side missions that had like no faction turn in, that were just meant to take you from point A to point B. Right? Like
pretty much just an introduction to the next section that you should
you're going to pick up this side mission, it's going to take you over to the lighthouse. Or you're going to pick up this side mission, it's going to take you over to the school. Or you're going to pick up this side mission, it's going to take you over to the Black House or something. And a lot of that stuff wasn't necessary in Legends because Legends makes you do missions. Legends is like, no, you're going to go do League of Monster Slayers. That's part of the storyline. We're requiring you to do that. So you don't need the side mission that's like, go collect 2 things and bring it over here to get you to go that way, because Legends is making you go that way via main mission that they're requiring you to do that takes you over there. There was one, I think it's Blue Mountain, that actually has additional side missions, which is weird. Blue Mountain has some additional side missions that didn't exist in TSW.
Interesting.
For reasons I don't actually know. I don't know if you guys remember this. In Blue Mountain, in the upper left corner, there's like the little skull island. There's like a black filth pod there with like some deep ones. There's like a little side mission to like smack the black pod, and then like a big deep one comes out and you kill it.
Right.
That didn't exist in TSW. It doesn't take you anywhere. I don't know what the fuck that's for.
Just, hey, here's a pod.
I'm not even sure they finished what it was for.
The book at the trailer that you had to return to the school just ends with a turn-in now.
Yeah, that's true. But that's because you have to go to the school as part of the thing. Oh, also,
Oh,
there's
there was the janitor. What's his name? That
yeah, the hide and shriek side mission
yeah.
that didn't exist in TSW. There's a side mission up there by the janitor in Legends that is you return a book to the Innsmouth like library,
Mhm.
and it's like cursed, and then like little jackalopes show up and bounce all around, which is a clear what is it? What was the other school called? Something Springs?
Little Springs.
Yeah, Little Springs. That's their mascot.
Yeah,
It's
the
clearly
jackalope.
like a hide and shriek reference. That mission did not exist in TSW. There's no point for it in Legends other than to be a reference to hide and shriek.
And it's sort of like, oh, this book is cursed. It's cursed by Little Springs to bring it to the library of the opposing school, and jackalopes happen. Yeah, that's totally a like a high school prank.
Yeah. I don't know what you're referencing with Miskatonic.
Miskatonic is just the name of the river that goes through.
Yeah, the
that
school
zone.
the school is it is Little Springs because I have the jacket. It's like a LS.
Mhm.
I just remember because I was in Lag Spike, and so we wear the jacket because it was like the same initials.
Oh yeah.
So we just got the Little Springs like jacket and would wear that.
works out very nicely.
Yeah, it's like a Letterman's jacket for the Cabal. It's pretty cool.
I'll say so. No,
Um,
yeah. So if you haven't already, go follow Jimmy the Rabbit, and you've been doing one every couple of days, side by side.
Yeah, I usually do like either Mondays and Tuesdays or Mondays and Wednesdays. It just depends. And then if we haven't been doing the show, I did some Thursdays when we didn't do the show.
Mm-hmm.
But I did kind of take a nosedive into Assassin's Creed Valhalla. So there have been some nights where I just like, you know what, I'm not streaming tonight. I'm just gonna go kill Vikings.
Which is fair.
Taking a personal day to kill Vikings.
Yeah.
But every time I go back into it, like I discover a new thing. And what I really am enjoying about it too is trying to decipher why. Like trying to take in as much data as possible, what's going on, and trying to come up with a, like not just like a off the wall thing, but like a legit, like a hypothesis of like, okay, this is here, why?
Yeah, why was it cut or added?
Or why was it moved? What makes the most sense? And what can I point to that sort of backs it up? Because I don't want to just like make wild guesses and assumptions. Like I want to try and understand.
Well,
Yeah,
what
like
they did here
there's
is-
a direct reason why this has changed.
Yeah, and some of the
Yeah.
stuff you can. Some of the stuff is some of it's a bit guesswork, but I feel like some of it I'm pretty dead on about.
I just love how, you know, we're having this more, you know, discussion about, you know, what's changed in you know, from Secret World to Secret World Legends, and
Giant cats.
all the while you are just
Yeah.
being devoured by your 3 cats.
Like, okay, for example, I did Venetian Missile Crisis, and while I couldn't do that on my new character, I still need to play Senua. I don't know how to say that. Senua's Sacrifice. I still need to play that. I think I
Sin
own
was Hellblade.
I think I own that game. I just haven't played it yet.
Whose golem was that?
Oh, it was a couple times it was free on the Epic Game Store.
So, anyways,
What
I was
was?
doing Venetian Missile Crisis because it's a faction mission on the TSW side that unlocks like a much lower level, and I wasn't gonna be able to do it on my new character on Legends, right? Because you don't get that until E4.
Okay.
So, but I was like, aha! I have a Templar alt, who was coincidentally E5. So I was like, okay. So I logged into my Templar alt and did Venetian Missile Crisis on Legends side by side with Venetian Missile Crisis on TSW. And I have to say, a lot easier in a lot of ways on TSW. Everything's just less bullet spongy. Like, because it's not meant to be rerun, because you don't get a loot chest out of it, I think.
Right.
Like, they made, essentially, if you think about it, Venetian Missile Crisis in Legends has to be the equivalent of like a scenario of that level. It needs to meet that level of time you spend in it for the reward you're getting. They don't want to give you like E17 loot, scenario loot for something that takes you like 30 seconds to do.
Right.
Right? It needs to be balanced. So that's part of the reason those things are bullet spongy as fuck in Legends. Whereas in TSW, it's a one shot. Like you do it once, you never do it again on that character, and it's just to get the rocket launcher. Although, point of fact, you don't get to use the rocket launcher in the mission, which is kind of annoying. The rain map not being updated. I do not know what you're referring to with that statement, Revan, or that question. But I will say the biggest difference visually that I noticed is really funny is that on the back side of Venetian Missile Crisis, when you're basically done, you have to jump over a fence to get back to the starting area where you do like your last defense round. And in Legends, there is wooden crates, like some wooden, not even crates, wooden pallets on the left, and a truck backed up to like the bashed-in fence on the right. And you jump on the truck and jump over the fence.
Okay.
In TSW, the truck is on the left. The wooden pallets are on the right. And you just run up the pallets and up the bashed fence and over. So for some reason, they took truck and pallets and went, whoop.
Okay.
I got a screen. I set up for a screen grab. I can probably go grab it. But like, it's just funny. In Discord, someone said rain in Venetian Missile Crisis still shows collision for the TSW layout. Really? I didn't. You mean like it shows that it's like the rain is stopping at the truck, the truck level instead of the wooden pallet level or something? Because the map layout's the same. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure the actual warehouses were the same.
Maybe.
But I know the truck and the pallets were moved, and like in TSW, you come in via an Agartha portal thing, and not a helicopter.
Okay.
Which they also rewrote the mission text for that, because the TSW missions calls out the Agartha portal stuff, where objects were moved, the rain to get the memo. That's kind of funny. I have to go look at that again. I could probably even go look at the old video and see. But yeah, I just thought that was pretty curious. That by the way, I do think it makes way more sense the way it is in Legends. I'm just gonna go out on a limb there and say that they didn't change it for no reason at all. You know?
Right, like there's absolutely reasons why it was changed.
Like it kind of does look weird that you just run up some bent-in fence, but when a truck's backed into it, you're like, oh, the truck backed into the fence, and then you're
like, oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, it just sort of fits.
Sorry, my cat keeps being like, I want to jump up on your lap. I want to jump up on your lap. Just kidding. I don't want to jump up on your lap.
Was it last night I did the faction mission, or was it the night before? Might have been the night before. What? I'm looking to see if I can find the. Oh yeah, it was before. Well, I actually went right to the spot somehow.
So overall, I mean, part of the reason why you're doing this run is because Secret World itself still has quite a few players and quite a few vocal players about you know, how much better they think it is, and how much you know, oh, we don't like what they did in Legends, blah 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 blah. You know, we like the circle, we like the ability wheel.
Yeah, everybody keeps harping on, oh, the ability wheel is a lot better than what we got now. We should go back that at.
To be honest, that is very little. I mean, I wouldn't say it's like nothing, but it's very little of a factor in it. It was a little more that people like, it's a 10-year anniversary. So it seemed like a good time. 10 years as a whole, 5 years each game.
Yeah.
If we're ever going to explore the difference in between them, let's do that.
It's perfectly reasonable to do it right now, especially because each game is basically in the limelight for.
And I kind of meant head to head as side by side, like head to head at the same time. I didn't actually mean for it to be It's, I mean, I have it as rounds too, which sounds like boxing, but I actually don't mean it to be like where one
Like a
like
competition.
necessarily wins.
Right.
It's more like a discovery. Like I want to do them side by side to genuinely look at and see what are the differences. Yes, like pros and cons, but also just like from a like a conceptual standpoint, like why did X get done differently? And then also like what was the if it was changed, what was the reasoning for it being that way in TSW in the first place?
Right.
Which it seems like a lot of the early stuff in TSW that got changed, like in Kingsmith, for example, was TSW liked to make you run around a lot. Like a lot. And Legends backed off of that significantly. It's a different design, like identity or something. Like, we don't need to make you run laps. It's always leg day in TSW, let me tell you. It is always leg day in TSW.
Well, you get your cardio in.
Like you'll do the same mission. It's got the same tiers, the same everything in both games. Then you open the maps and the little circles of like where you have to go to do those things. And Legends will be like clustered around where you are. And TSW will go like this across the map. You're like, I gotta cover half the goddamn map to do everything in the mission on TSW. But in Legends, it's like you just do a circle around where you are. So it's which I think is just a different design style. Like the earlier one is intentional. It's not like I did it on an accident. That's intentional. And in most cases, it's not even to make you find new things, because that could be an argument. In most cases, it's literally just, I think, to essentially like eat player time, which I don't really hold against them. You're a subscription-based, at the time, MMO.
Mm-hmm.
You need to stretch. This content needs to you be able to say, like, this is going to take X amount of time. Check. So we're going to put out X amount of content at this schedule. This should take X amount of time to do. And even if you replay it, it's going to take X amount of time, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the part of early MMOs when they really first started coming out, and it was mostly all subscription based, was just basically, we're gonna make you walk. We're gonna, you get on a you want to travel from one place to another, it's gonna take like 5-6 minutes just to fly there, or it's gonna take like 10 minutes to go from one end of the map to the other in quick travel. Sort of stuff. Yeah, that was common. And pushing extra time to get players to basically spend more time playing was really something.
I found the screenshot, Waffle, of the Venetian Missile Crisis change. It's just funny to me.
It makes more sense having it on that side too.
Move that truck.
It's just, so the fence is like bashed in on the right there, and it's like sloped too, oddly, like something did back into it and hit it. So like in TSW, you just sort of run up the wooden pallets and you just run up this sort of sideways, like diagonal fence and over. And then on Legend side, you jump the truck, and then from the truck jump over the fence. You don't even really run on the fence, but it looks like the truck backed into it. But yeah, I just thought that was such an odd. Running them side by side, you're like, wait, what? What? Huh? But it also shows that like they were paying attention in the relaunch to really little things.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think this was I don't remember testing this in the beta. You know what I mean? Like the closed beta for Legends. Like, I don't remember testing Venetian Mission Crisis. Certainly not noticing whether the truck was on a different side or not. Like,
taking a survey afterwards. Did you notice the truck? Did you enjoy the truck's location?
What truck?
Yeah, what
on a scale of 1 to 5.
There were a few trucks.
The faction recognition release after New Dawn. Yeah, that's true. That's true. You're right, Velmer. Well, and I don't remember there being a beta for them at all. But I mean, there's lots of things like that. that I like. There's lots of little things even in Kingsmith that like there were tiny changes that just like that's weird. I wonder why they moved the one thing. Well, okay, Jack Boone's water bottle.
Right. Sorry, you just basically said like, "Oh, that's weird," and at the same time, I looked at the stream and there's somebody just petting.
Oh yeah, that's not what I was talking about. That's
Waffle's
perfectly
giant
fine.
cat, and it's like, true. That's
perfectly normal.
perfectly
that's
normal.
normal.
No, but
That's
like,
just-
why
Like
does
that's
Jack?
weird. Be like,
Why does Jack Boone have a water jug in Legends that didn't exist in TSW? Like that's just another thing of like, yeah, okay, sure. But
I mean,
like,
yeah, dude needs water to survive. That's fine.
but
Yeah.
that's the level of shit that they were doing on the relaunch. You know, that's the
Mhm.
level of like attention to detail being paid to detail was that. It's kind of crazy.
Kind of. Kind of awesome, really. Yeah.
Yeah,
They took that much care into the relaunch.
yeah, a lot more change than people think changed between the two of them, for sure. I think City of the Sun God's gonna be a fucking bitch.
From its original iteration of having to go through everything, that maze and back and forth. I can see how it can be a pain in the butt.
Like I was not a hater of City of the Sun God. I'm not one of those people. Even in TSW, but I'm saying comparatively, running side by side, I want to finish a mission on a Legend side, hit a portal that just goes bloop and portals me to the right location.
Mm-hmm.
And on TSW, I'm gonna be like, fuck, now where do I go? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
so it's something you're just gonna be like, all right, so I'm gonna have to go over here. I'm gonna have to portal over here, and then walk over there.
yeah,
and
and there's
then
no
down
jump
there.
pads.
Yeah,
There's no jump pads that like let you easily get around some of that verticality mess. You're going to have to go find the pathway up.
yeah.
Um,
The whole map is just a giant maze. Yeah.
which wouldn't be such a problem, and isn't as even without the portals. I bet money it's not as much of a problem in Legends anyways, because they changed the missions to not require you to cover half a map to do a mission for the
Right.
most part. I think the investigation mission is still going to be, it's still, because it's strewn all over the map. But most missions that have you like collect things or kill certain types of things, they consolidated the area greatly in Legends in general.
Mm-hmm.
And in TSW, they're fucking all over the place. And so in Kingsmith, when a mission says go across half the goddamn map and come back, it's like, whatever, you can beeline it.
Yeah.
Right?
Mhm.
When you do that in City of the Sun God and they approach missions with the same mindset of we're going to make you run across the map, well, now the map has fucking cliffs and valleys and dead ends. And for you to do that now is really frustrating because you can't just go as like the crow flies.
Right.
You've got to go like, oh, it's over there. So I need to, go through here, take a left here, go up there, go down there. Oh, fuck. I fell off a ledge. Let me spend 15 minutes getting back to where I was. Because I fell off a ledge on the wrong side.
The different groups that are in the area in your way.
Yeah, it's just... I truly believe the geometry of City of the Sun God collided with the Everyday's Leg Day design methodology and created like what really was... That's why it was a nightmare for a lot of people. Was those two things collided.
Mm-hmm.
It's not nearly as bad anywhere else. Like, even I think even Carpathian Fangs isn't that bad. It's got like some mountainous shit, but it's nothing like whatever the fuck happened in City of the Sun God. Like it has mountains, and Carpathian Fangs has like mountainous stuff. But none of it's as painful, and there's not as much of it as there is in City of the Sun God.
Totally.
Yeah, those two styles should not have been put together. If you're gonna do a map that's all fucked like that, then you need to do missions that are like not making you do laps around that shit.
make it's you're going in between the different missions in a straight line. Make it that you have a reason to go in this direction, and you're collecting or doing stuff on the way.
Yeah, not like I'm gonna pick up this mission and I'm gonna have to go over here, which means
You gotta collect that MacGuffin
and then go
bring
back.
it back. Yeah.
You know, yeah. The leg day philosophy, I genuinely think that came from, though, also it just being an MMO, like a sub MMO.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was just the normal what you did back in the day. Like, I mean, almost every one of the MMOs back then were very similar.
And I think once you go to buy to play, even, you don't really need that. And then especially free to play, like, that's not a concern anymore.
Yeah.
No, because at that point, people want you to respect their time more.
Yes.
So they want to get you around the map to play the content as fast as possible.
Night Bomber.
All right,
Have a good night, Bomber. Yeah,
Nighty
the
night.
entire philosophy just changed. And even now, games that are subs, they don't make you run around as much.
Yeah, because people are like, hey, stop wasting my fucking time.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
they're like, if I log into this game, I don't want to spend 20 minutes trying to get to the quest objective. Like, I just want to play.
I think part of it has to do with, the average player base and average time available to play and how much money they'll spend for that smaller amount of time. Like, I got a job and other responsibilities, so when I play for 2 hours, like, I want to fucking get shit done, motherfucker.
Mm-hmm. That, and also, right, probably the average age of MMO players is just getting older, right? So we've got shit to do.
Our
So
time
instead
is
of spending
short.
like instead of spending 20 minutes, to a half hour trying to find a group to do something in the first place, instead it's, well, now we have group finders, and now we have.
Yeah, I think the group finder is a big miss, honestly. For this game. For this game, I think the group finder was a bad idea. I think it was a bad idea in TSW when they added it in TSW. Because
Really?
it didn't exist at first. In TSW. I
Right.
don't think it was good in TSW, and I think it's almost worse in Legends. Because it's in my opinion, it's a square peg round hole thing. Like, you've got content that requires communication, and then you've made a system that doesn't require communication.
Okay. I
And
can see
that sort of backfires a bit. It ends up causing, like, toxicity that didn't need to be there. Because people expect to be able to run, because they don't have to communicate to get into a group. They also don't expect to have to communicate in the group, right? I just want to check a box and go do the thing. And when someone starts talking and like, oh, you need to do this, people bristle. Like, don't tell me what to do. I'm just trying to do my shit. I know what I'm doing, or I don't want to listen to you, or whatever. Like, but if you have to talk to someone to get in the group in the first place, right, then you've already opened that channel and you already are receptive to, we have to talk to go do the thing.
Mm-hmm.
So now you're not so combative about someone telling you how to do something, because you had to talk in the first place.
I see. No, totally. That makes sense.
Now, if you're doing something that, like, there's other games where, like, you queue up with 5 people and everyone just goes in and shoots shit.
But that's
Like, there's-
basically it. Yeah, most of the other games that basically have installed group finders actually just made their dungeon content very straightforward.
You just roll over it.
Yeah, very straightforward, very direct, not heavy mechanics. And they put the stuff with the heavy mechanics in, like, the raids.
Right. With the raids, require communication.
And
should-
even games that have raid finders, they made almost like, if you're using a raid finder, they're going to make the raid not as difficult. They're going to make the raid like a story mode sort of raid.
Yeah.
And with that, you can use the dungeon finder because you could roll over it.
But when you have content that requires, like, a 5-man coordinated group to, like, not fuck up and to understand what's happening,
right,
and do things right, or, like, when one person does something wrong, they wipe the whole team, and you have a system that doesn't require people to talk to get in it in the first place.
So I can
and
see
then
that. Yeah, no,
they have
that
the
totally makes sense.
expectation of, I don't have to talk because I didn't have to talk to get in here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying, like, I think Like, you could still run into salty people even with like, hey, looking for a group. I need 2 more people, and someone could join you and still be an asshole. But like, it's less likely than the person that's like, oh, I'm just gonna check this box and go do whatever I want because I checked the box and it lets me. So I just think it's a bad. I think it's a bad fit for this particular style of game.
I see that. Yeah.
And style of dungeon mechanics, honestly. I mean, TSW was even like worse, or not worse, but like worse is the wrong word. The dungeons have been redesigned a lot more than people think. Like, for example, all the dungeons in TSW had very specific themes of how like damage and stats worked. Like Polaris was like a pen dungeon, and pen block don't even exist in Legends.
Right.
But it was a pen dungeon. Like if you were going to tank Ankh in TSW, you needed a completely different tank set than like tanking Polaris. Because Ankh didn't give a fuck about block. I think you needed evade stuff for Ankh. Like the different dungeons like completely hit you with different stats.
Mm-hmm.
So like you could have someone that's like, yeah, I can tank this dungeon, but I can't tank that one. I don't have the gear for it. So in TSW, the dungeons were like, every dungeon was like that. Every dungeon had some kind of stat theme to it that like changed how you had to play. Not just like, we need, 3 DPS, a tank, and a healer, and do your shit, but like, you're like, no. You need to tank it this way, or you need to heal it this way, or you need to run these stats. Like, you remember like in TSW you had to like mouse over people, like enemies, and see like, oh, you have to crit them to strip this buff, or you don't do any damage. Or you need to afflict them. If you don't afflict them, they don't take damage. Or you have to apply expose, or they don't take damage. So you're like shooting something for 2 minutes, and it's not going down at all. And it's because no one has applied the right effect to it to strip it of its barrier, essentially, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like that shit was all over TSW. It wasn't relegated to like dungeons and bosses. Random mobs in Shadowy Forest would have little things. It's like, if you don't fucking apply weaken to this guy, he's going to wreck you. Like, you're going to do nothing to him. And if you're running a build that doesn't apply weaken, and you don't read the thing, you're like, why the fuck can I not kill this guy?
Mm-hmm.
Like the Wraith boss and the BFE. Yes, lots of the lair bosses still have those stat checks in Legends, but like the normal enemies in the zones don't. But like every fucking thing had them in TSW. Dungeons and lair bosses even more so. Which again, to my point, is like, when you have dungeon content that was originally in TSW designed to require a significant amount of pre-prep and like reading the shit and adjusting your build, sometimes per boss, to deal with those like counter effect. Mm-hmm. And then they, in TSW, they hammered in the group finder. It was like, no, man, that doesn't work. That doesn't. Okay, now I got 3 people in my group that don't know what the fuck they're doing, aren't listening, and won't change their build. And now we can't get past boss 1.
Right.
And yeah, the fungus, well, also there's like, that's what one of the reasons no one likes running the lair in Shadowy Forest, because you can't, what is it? Even in Legends, you can't do something. I forget what it is now. You can't do something because you'll get like reflect damage and kill yourself, unless you have like a healer spamming shit. Like there's a counter effect that happens to the fungus. Even in Legends that happens. There was another example of that shit though, where like if you're like you can't. Oh, what was it? The Deathless in Carpathian Fangs, I think, used to, if you hit them with something, they would stun you. If you were running a certain effect, like a certain passive or whatever that puts a certain type of negative buff on an enemy, if you happen to hit the deathless with it, they would instantly counter stun you. Like you would just get like slept, apparently, like essentially.
Okay.
I forget what it was exactly now, but like
Yeah, I don't remember
TSW
that.
was really nasty about shit like that. They're like, surprise, motherfucker!
Oh, bam!
I remember even learning dungeons. Like you would literally go like wipe to a new boss just to be able to mouse over and see the effects and read the things, because nothing told you ahead of time what the fuck they were. You have to go into the fight, wait for it to do shit, die, like loop, essentially like let it kill you while you try and read its fucking little debuffs. And you're like, oh, okay, I see what's going on now. So they simplified that a fuck ton for Legends, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like they simplified that end of it quite a bit. But I would point out that it was overcomplicated as fuck in the beginning to begin with.
It was yeah. It was
much.
overcomplicated, but that was, I guess, I feel like that was like, it wasn't. I mean, obviously it was intentional. It was supposed to be like, oh yeah, we've got investigation missions in this game. Where you have to really pay attention and you have to really read stuff and you really have to do whatever. And then that sort of just progressed to, well, this is a content that's harder. We're gonna make you really pay attention to that too.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm talking like even just base enemies.
Yeah.
Base enemies in the open world zone would have. I still remember kind of towards the end of TSW, I went in Shadowy Forest, and you know the Hell section. It's got those like demons with the swords running around. Kind of near the guy in the bridge, the old golem thing on the bridge. You know,
Mm-hmm.
Those guys have like a special. In TSW, have a special thing on them where like you have to hit them with something specific, or they don't take hardly any damage. They get like massive reduction. So I was in there doing something, and I saw this guy running around, and he was taking forever to kill one of those things. And like I didn't want to interrupt his mission. I didn't want to like just run in and kill the thing right away for him. But I think I inspected him or whatever, and it was like he's way like geared enough. This shouldn't be a problem. And I sent him a message. I was like, hey, you do know these guys require you to do like X first, right? Like you have to hit them with this before they start taking damage. And he's like, oh, Jesus Christ. Like the ghosts have the magical physical shields that alternate. Yep. Do they still have that in Legends? I know the ones that get summoned do. Like the lair bosses that are specters do actually have the alternating physical magical shield, and it does work. But I don't know that the rest of the ghosts do. I don't remember. See, there's so much left to compare. I'm like, I finished Solomon Island. I'm in Egypt, but there's so much left to like.
So much.
Get through and like really see the nitty-gritty differences. I will say elites are fucking elite in TSW. They really nerfed like
really
power in Legends, and we know that. I literally had like voice combos with Nervell about that during the last like rebalance test stuff. Elites are undertuned. Like the pendulum swung the wrong way. Like TSW at the end, like the raid gear was super overpowered, and like too much stuff lets you just fucking explode things. Like you can rack up. And so when they went to Legends, they kind of swung the pendulum the other way. Like you have no talisman or special thing that does like plus 80%. Like nothing's big. Everything's like plus
minor
1%, plus 1.2%. And you add all those pluses up from everywhere in the Legend systems, and you can get, a decent improvement in performance, but you don't have like one thing you get that's like, fuck yeah, boom.
Mm-hmm.
Hello. The video got all weird. But yeah, your elite ability in TSW, like my character, because the gearing system in TSW is a fucking shit show. it's far more difficult. It's more random. Okay, in Legends, when you get gear, right, you just feed it into it. Everything you get makes you stronger. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like literally everything you get, you can just smash into it and you get bigger. So if you're 100%ing a zone, you get stronger and stronger and stronger. You can't not. In TSW, I have piles of shit that I like dismantle into metal, water, dust, and like
Oh God,
nothing.
yeah.
It does nothing to make me stronger. I have to wait for toolkits to drop of a high enough level to craft that shit into replacement stuff to hopefully make new pieces. And all that's random. So like my power creep in Legends as a whole is like way fucking higher.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that shit's a lot more difficult on TSW, like running side by side, except when I pop an elite, fucking 5 things die at once. Like that's the sort of evener is like, yeah, my power level creep level is way shittier.
Mm-hmm.
But man, elites are elite.
I was like, but man, yeah, the damage
from an elite doesn't fuck around.
No.
It goes up way more than what it usually
so like
is.
when I do an elite in Legends, like it's okay. You know, it'll take out some small enemies, you know, a few at a time or whatever. Like it's okay. But it's not
an I win button.
It's not that much bigger than, you know, some of the other abilities. But the elite in TSW is much more impactful than the regular thing I'm shooting. Like it's just like, oh, flatten.
Boom. Yeah.
So
like you're a walking nuke.
Yeah, no, I get that. Yeah.
So that was interesting to note.
It's almost like in Secret World that because I remember that, yeah, it's basically you built the rest of your build almost around what your elite was.
Yeah. Yeah, your elite and your elite passive, like you kind of
made the rest of it jive with that. Yeah.
But I do miss Killer Flow. They did make a mistake. That should be in Legends. That shit's fucking fun as fuck.
You're tap dancing.
Yeah, just spinning around shooting. Like how is like you know what we have instead in Legends? We have Seeking Bullet, which is a fucking chain attack. You just kind of go like this. Like fuck that bullshit. Take that out, put in Killer Flow. Like it's a better builder, it's a better multi-target builder because it's an AoE.
Mm-hmm.
Chained means like they have to be like in your field of vision and it'll go from one enemy to another. But like it doesn't hit shit behind you. So if you're surrounded by shit, you know, whereas like I don't know, hammer is basic, right? Is like multi-target basic. Like you hammer the ground and it hits all the way around you in a circle.
Mm-hmm.
You want a single target basic and a multi-target basic, and the multi-target basic should always be fucking hit everything attacking me. I'm surrounded by zombies, hit everything at once, please.
Right.
So yeah, that spin to win should definitely be in Legends. That was a mistake to like not put that. And it's just super
it's just
fun
the fact
to
you
do.
can just spam it over and over again and just
walk down the street like a John Wick
Amazing.
tap dance.
Yeah, like why aren't I walking everywhere like this? Why do we have mounts?
Were you there? Were you there when I literally walked all the way back to the police station? Like,
yeah, no, I was there when you first got it. Yeah.
It's like I can go everywhere like this.
Like, why is it this amount? Can we just have this as a mount?
Can you imagine if you could do that at Sprint 6? You'd be like a Tasmanian devil.
You're like, I don't even really need to do damage. I don't have to do damage, Jerry. Just
yeah, let it do 2 points of damage a click. I'm just gonna tornado around for like 30 minutes. It's totally worth it.
Just entertaining.
Yeah, it's genuinely though, it's been super fun. Because I basically was like, I'm not going back to TSW, right? Like, and I still kind of firmly believe that, but I do genuinely enjoy the side-by-side aspects.
Well, you can see where they took the inspiration to do the relaunch or whatever you want to call it to make it a better game for a wider group of people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But also, I mean, but that kind of shows, we were all in Secret World to begin with.
Yeah. That's the thing. It's not like I didn't spend over like 5,000 hours in that fucking game because I did.
we loved Secret World. So yeah, no, we totally get why people love Secret World. We loved Secret World. It's just that playing Secret World Legends, we're like, this feels better.
Well, also, to me, it feels weird to me too to be like, oh, I somehow know better than the people that are making the game. Like,
yeah.
I want to understand what they were doing, which is another aspect of the side by side, is to try to understand the differences and why. But I'm not going to put myself above them and be like, well, no, you should have done this other than Killer Flow.
Right, other than Killer Flow. Right?
I'm not going to be like, you should have done this. Like it, they know they were running the game. They built the game far longer than 5 years before the relaunch, but they were running the game for 5 years and they had opportunity to restart. They took that opportunity to address as much shit as they could in the time frame, and to sit back and like, armchair quarterback, or backseat drive and be like, no, they should have done this or shouldn't have done that. Like, it's their fucking game. It's their story. It's like telling the director, like, no, you did your movie wrong. Watch a different movie. If you like Secret World, you should be interested in why they rebooted it and what's different and
see where they improved it and where it, and
you don't have to like everything, and saying that, but like, Jesus Christ, like some of the TSW, like, salt miners, it's just like, no one asked for this. Well,
they kind of did.
You did.
Yeah.
They did with the lack of money.
Yeah, they kind of did with their wallet and the many complaints that people saw on like forums and stuff like that. Like, they kind of did. Yeah.
You mean like the fans of Star Wars?
Oh yes, Star Wars fans, Star Trek fans. Yeah.
Sometimes the hardcore fans are the IP's worst enemy. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, you don't necessarily want to take their opinion necessarily, because it's a little biased. It's a little flawed.
A little.
And it doesn't mean they don't have salient points, mind you. It's just that
it's kind of hard to find that diamond in the rough when it's just all rough.
8. I meant 8. Oh, I mean, whatever. It's
oh, we knew what you meant.
Literally anyone past 6 got a lot of hate anyway.
Somehow he returned.
Yeah, see, I was just along for the ride on all the Star Wars shit. None of that bothered me.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the movies for what they were.
And I'm not saying that the latest movies were my favorite of the Star Wars. This is like, no, I wouldn't call them like,
How could they be though? I saw the first ones when I was like fucking 9 or 8 or some shit. Like, if they won't have that impact.
They won't. Yeah.
That's just not possible. I have a formed brain now. It's just not going to work the same. It's not going to have the same level of impact.
And
you can just be like, it wasn't my favorite of the trilogy.
Even if you were
it wasn't my favorite of the group, but I'm not gonna shit on it.
Even if you were an adult at the time they came out, or like a little older, it was brand new shit.
It's like 30 years.
It's like when the only thing I can think of even equivalent is when the first Matrix came out. Like the first Super Bowl shows of the Matrix still like resonates in my head. Like, I was just like, what the fuck is this? It was so
good. Yeah, it was so good.
The trailer was just like, this is not what exists now, which I imagine was like Star Wars for, people of age that weren't like little kids. People of age when the first Star Wars came out had to be like, this is different. There's nothing like this happening. What the hell is this?
This is awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, but you're not gonna do that again. Not in the same franchise. Not to the same people.
And maybe that's why I think that partially it's like, why there's actually such almost a rift between people who are like, oh no, TSW is the only one to play, and it won't come over to Secret World Legends. Is it's almost like the assumption that they think that we all hate Secret World or TSW or something like, oh no, we've abandoned it, or we've thrown it to the side,
good
or
riddance to that horrible trash.
Yeah, it's like, no, we all played it too. We all love the hell out of it.
I played that shit on bananas, motherfuckers.
Yeah, we all loved it.
Well, it's also the same people who bitch and complain. Like
we
when
can love
the
this
WoW
too.
Classic.
Was
not the Blizzard version, but the private servers and stuff. Everybody was like, "Oh, if you want to enjoy the pure awesomeness of WoW Classic, you gotta do this." And then when Blizzard's like, "Oh, yeah, we can do that too and make some money from it too."
Yeah, yeah.
Everybody's like, "Oh, all hell's breaking loose," and there's this wanting to be cash grab. It's like, yeah. They made the game.
Absolutely. Part of that was also like they're like, oh, well, this is a pure version of Warcraft, and it's like also it was free.
Yeah.
So that's the other thing too, is that always bothers me is like, oh, Legends is just a cash grab. Games have to make money to exist, right? The reason the TSW didn't continue to exist was because you weren't giving it money, right? Like, the Funcom doesn't exist to make a game for you for nothing.
Yeah.
And if you want to do cash grab, look at Champions Online. The keys and the loot boxes, that's a cash grab.
Oh, because that's cryptic. Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's also now Gearbox now.
Or Gearbox, yeah.
Yeah.
But same things. I mean, they do Star Trek Online. You should see the lock boxes in Star Trek Online. You should see the amount that's in that cash shop. It is.
Well, it's like, oh, you want this new ship?
It is excessive.
It looks pretty awesome, but you guys spend hundreds of dollars to get keys to get a chance to unlock that.
And that's why it's like, at least in Secret World here, Secret World also has lock boxes. Let's not lie about that. It also has lock boxes, but the Secret World lock boxes, if you subscribe, you get a free key every day.
Yeah. It's like $12 a month gets you 30 fucking keys.
Yeah. It is a.
It has got to be and then maybe that's honestly part of the problem. It was one of the nicest free to play.
It is one of the nicest free to play systems,
and maybe that's the problem.
And it could be right.
A lot of people are entitlement now.
They made theirs as aggressive as possible.
That was probably a mistake.
They needed
to go full Diablo Immortal.
Yeah, oh my
god. No, not that far.
Dude, that shit is insane. But also they made how much money? The first.
Well, they're still making $1 million a day or whatever.
A lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the saddest part is you're like, yeah, look at all these systems. They're so manipulative and they're so whatever. And it's like, but people will actually buy it anyway. There's a demand for that. As much as we don't like it, there is a demand.
They could turn that fucking game off tomorrow, and it still would have made hundreds of millions already. There's no it doesn't matter all the videos showing how fucked it is and how bad it is and all this shit. It's not stopping them from raking in money.
Shantahex says, I didn't start with TSW, I started with SWL. I'd like to try TSW to see what the original was like and compare it myself.
Well, you could always come watch me play both of them side by side.
So you can.
Is
there ways? Are there still
unless
keys?
You get a key?
Yeah, I think there was a few up on GameStop for a little bit.
Occasionally we hear of them popping up periodically.
But they went really quick or they got cold. I'm not sure. If you have a TSW account or can acquire an account, you can just patch your Legends game back and forth. It's the same game. There's 3 gigs difference. You can change a comp file and patch the game, and then change the comp file again and patch it back the other way. It's not difficult to do. You just have to have an actual TSW account to be able to use it once you patch to it.
But Zen, yeah, that's a very good question because
How are you training your
Zen-
offspring to fall
Yeah.
prey to
Yeah.
the boxes?
I think you meant to not fall prey to these boxes.
No, how are you training them to fall prey to it? They want us to run up our credit cards.
It's a small game called Roblox.
Dude, my kid plays the shit out of Roblox.
So is mine.
But he has discovered some video on YouTube or something that's like free whatever, and it showed him how to like sort the items to show the free ones up top. He's like, I can get all this shit for free. So like he actually kind of like, because he was constantly asking me for Robux, and I gave him, you know, like $10 here or there, like twice or something. I was like, okay, you can, you know, you can have a little something.
All right.
Go get something nice. But then he was like, I need 1,000 Robux. I'm like, no, dude, no. You gotta like dial it back.
But the
And then,
hat,
yeah,
the shiny hat.
he found something, some YouTube video someone put. It was like, you know, how to get shit for free. So then also he feels like he's gaming the system, right? Like he's 6, but he's like, I found this thing lets me get free stuff. He also, and I don't know how the fuck he found this, A, or how he did this, B, but he followed some tutorial that makes it look like you have a bunch of Robux, but you don't.
Okay.
It literally is like you inspect the web page in Roblox and then use the Chrome inspector to change the text value.
To just change
So
the
it
value.
shows on the web page you have like 1 million Robux or something, but you don't actually have it. It's just changing text display. But he did it. I'm like,
Respect.
yeah, I'm like, okay, you edited the CSS to show you have a different number. I mean, good for you. It's not doing anything for you, but okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, just don't refresh.
I was gonna say then that yeah, these two have much more experience at that than I do. And I wonder that myself because I'm very quickly approaching that that question.
Another game is actually pretty good is Overwatch for now. You get a loot box, but you get your loot boxes for free by just playing the game.
Well, I mean, when it goes to 2, they have the battle pass system, but they have like a free track.
Yeah, it's a free track, but it's the loot boxes are gone in October when it releases.
Here, children play free-to-play Fortnite, get mocked if they're wearing default fatigues and not some fancy skins. I mean, that's just people being
but that's just people be assholes for any number of reasons.
Yeah, that's just people being assholes. Yeah.
But also, that's
just
Fortnite,
bullying.
You can get plenty of shit for free. Like you can do the free. It's like Apex. I don't fucking spend any money on Apex Legends, but I got like skins and like random shit because you can earn them through the free track. It takes more time, and you're not gonna. I have like, I don't know, 10 heroes that aren't unlocked because I haven't earned the currency to unlock them. But whatever, I don't care. Yeah, most games have gotten pretty good about like providing a longer time playing, but like free track system. It also helps skirt things legally. Aren't you supposed to be boycotting Apex in August? I don't generally boycott anything.
Oh, so was there a reason why?
Like I just don't believe in it.
So like Santa.
Yeah. I don't believe in boycotting. I think it is rarely effective and mostly is stupid. I'm not saying it can't be effective ever, but it's rarely effective. Mostly it's stupid.
Yeah, most of the time, it's just the people, the C-suite of people that control the game are just going to go, oh no. Anyway.
There was a protest or something. I have no idea. To be honest, I haven't played Apex in like a month or two. So I don't.
I haven't heard anything with Apex
super often. A lot of times
I just don't care for the game. It's just, to me.
No, I don't play it anyway.
I don't mind the game. Like
it's hard to boycott when you don't even play it.
Some Fridays I'll do like Overwatch, Apex, Paladins, Valorant, Fortnite. I'll do like the five FPSs. I'll get really drunk and do like all 5.
Backfired because everyone logged in to see how empty servers are, and they were not empty.
Well, yeah, because they logged in.
Yeah, because they logged in. That's funny.
No, but that's the thing. Like, a protest only works if enough people give a shit about whatever the thing is in relation to what they're supposed to be doing, like boycotting, for example.
Right.
So not only does the reason have to be good, but the people that would normally do the thing
Has to be
need to be the
effective.
kind of people that care about that enough to stop doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And-
look at Diablo Immortal. Is if you get everybody to stop playing it, it's not going to affect the game because there is a larger portion of whales that are still playing it because they're pumping in the money into the game itself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that money
Yeah.
isn't coming from
Well,
like your average player
Being
necessarily.
more like you remember like there was like a Blizzard boycott,
Yes.
right? And I got some shit because I did my normal Friday night drunk Overwatch. I was like, you know what? I bought Overwatch for like $30 3 years ago. I can go play it if I want to. Fuck off.
I mean, now see when it comes to that sort of thing, like, I do a lot of it for personal reasons, like,
Which is fine.
yeah,
Which
and
is
that's fine.
But what I'm saying is, like, I'm not handing them money tonight. I'm not
Right,
giving
right.
them money.
I'm using what I already.
I'm using
paid
a product
for.
I bought years ago.
Yeah.
I'm
You're-
not.
you're
I'm
costing
not
them
buying
money.
Skins.
They're not going to get any more money from me.
Yeah, I'm just playing, and then some fucking asshat came into my chat and tried to give me shit about it, and I banned him. It's like, fuck off, get out of here.
Yeah.
But the point, my
Corporate shill.
but my thing to that was like, okay, there was obviously I was following that really closely. There was a lot of bad shit happening, right? But if you're gonna have a boycott for something, it needs to be something that the consumer consuming it is actually going to relate to and give a shit about.
It's
and
like
I think
it's like
that's
it's
a
like
big
saying that,
miss.
you know, oh, I have an issue with Nike or Keurig or something like that. So I'm going to buy a Keurig and then I'm going to throw it out in the trash. And it's like,
Well, you bought the
okay,
Keurig, idiot. So that
but you bought it, yeah.
that didn't work. But no, but I mean, what I'm trying to say is like, okay, it doesn't work if the protest is for something, like say inappropriate conduct in the workplace was a big thing with the Blizzard stuff. But if your consumers is a shit ton of 15-year-olds, they're not going to give a shit.
They're not going to care, right?
They're not going to care. The protest has to be something that would affect them or be something that they actually would care about, which honestly at that age is going to be really hard to do anyways. It's going to be really hard to find the one thing that brings them all together,
Right.
to stop doing whatever they're doing because they don't care about anything. But
Yeah, and that's why I tend to do boycotts on a much more personal level. Like,
yeah, you can just
like
not-
for example, I won't play. I've kind of like sort of sworn off any Blizzard products, but it wasn't for any of that misconduct or anything like that. It was basically because when I was playing World of Warcraft, there was one point when I was like, I got to like one of the end of the expansions, and I wasn't too big on running dungeon content. So I got to one of the ends of the expansions, and it was like, oh, you want to see the rest of the story? You have to get into raiding. And at the time, raiding was like, okay, so I need to join a raiding guild. And every raiding guild was like, okay, you need to play every like Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night for about 6 hours a night, just to join in the raiding guild. And it's like no, dudes, I have a life. I'm not gonna.
right.
You know, nowadays, I've been married for over 12 years now. I can maybe pull that off. You know, like that's a little more easier to do now.
Sure, why not? Not
But
do
at
anything else.
But at the time, it was like, no, dude, I'm going out and partying. I've got I've got women to meet. I've got people to talk to. I ain't giving up. I ain't giving up my personal life just to play a fucking video game. Like I'm not gonna do that just to see the story.
Well, see,
and
that's
like
just a
I kind of
serious
felt
lack
like
of
really,
commitment.
I kind of felt like really ripped off that
No.
that they had designed it that way.
That I will grant you is that, and it was like kind of the plus about Legends and like the story mode stuff, right? Is like if you're gonna put story in that kind of content, make it accessible, or at least make an accessible version,
or at least make it optional. Like that was basically the main story quest ran through those raids.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, if you're gonna have story shit, it should be accessible in a fashion, and not like locked behind coordinating with 19 other people.
And so I was pissed. I felt like I'm pretty, like, at the time I was like, I'm your fucking target audience. What the hell are you doing to me? Like this is really not cool. And I then was like, and then I took a, I was like, well, how much money have I spent on this game up to that point? And I did the math, and it was actually close to like $800-900. And I was like, $800-900 to be treated like this. I was like, no, I'm done. I'm done. Like they're not getting another cent from me, and I've stuck to it actually. Like nowadays, quick move. Okay. Nowadays it's like, of course I'm a lot older now, and so like I don't begrudge anybody playing it, but even now, like even with those lenses, like do I want to go back to World of Warcraft? Like no, I played that game. I'm done with it. I spent my time in it. I'm good. Like would I play Overwatch? Like not necessarily. It's not really my style of game. Diablo, it's like, yeah, I played Diablo 2, but yeah, it's and it just hasn't had enough to bring me back.
Yeah, I have no interest in like because Diablo Immortal, much like Diablo, it's super grindy. Like even like the normal story shit is basically just grindy. Like I liked Diablo 2 when it was first out, and I played that.
Oh, I love Diablo 2. I thought it was a great game.
If you really think about it, like you just ground randomized shit until the next cinematic.
Yeah.
Right. That was like.
It was a great game, but it was very basic. Yeah.
Which is not bad. It was thoroughly enjoyable and all that stuff, but like you're just like slaughtering randomized things of enemies till you get a boss fight, and then hopefully you can see one of those glorious fucking full animated cinematic sequences.
Which at the time were like, oh god, they were great. Blizzard was known for those at the time.
Yeah. You're like, fuck yeah.
You're like, this is fucking amazing. Yeah.
And you look forward to, it's like, oh, BlizzCon, or when's the next expansion coming out? And more excited about the cinematic.
Yeah. You wanted the cinematics.
Whatever the gameplay is, the cinematic. Which I mean is, there's something inherently wrong with that, I guess. But like, it just doesn't do it for me anymore. Like, I don't feel the need to run through a bunch of shit like that.
Yeah, because even now I know that, like, okay, although World of Warcraft hasn't necessarily changed in that format, like now they're like, oh well, the stories will still go through the raids, but we now have basically story mode raids and raid finders to make them easy to get into.
Right.
And so it's like nowadays it's like I could get into it easy. I don't need to give up 3 nights a week, 6 hours just to be on the lowest tier of this raiding guild just to see the content.
Yeah.
And so it's an entirely different mindset, but it still is like it's not enough to bring me back. It isn't. Like, no, I'm good. I'm done.
I never got into World of Warcraft. I played Warcraft. I played Warcraft 2.
Oh yeah, and I still love those
Warcraft
games.
3.
Warcraft 2, Warcraft 3, yeah.
What was the DLC, like Frozen something?
Frozen Throne.
Yeah. That was very different and then very good.
I was actually a very big Blizzard fanboy for a long time, yeah.
And then I remember World of Warcraft came out, and I didn't really have interest. Oh, mainly because it was a sub game, and I was like, "Fuck that."
Yeah.
That's personally like how I felt, and really still feel. I don't have any sub games. I bought a lifetime to this, so I didn't have to sub to it.
Yeah, neither do I.
Like I would rather slap down the money than have to try and juggle another monthly bill. Just don't like it.
Mm-hmm.
Conceptually,
15 a month is
It's not even like they were like necessarily like the monthly price. It's just like I don't like being locked in. What if
I just don't like the concept of, because then if you go play something else too, if you're like, oh, I don't really feel like playing this, I'm gonna go play something else.
Yeah, well, you're still paying every month.
You're still paying.
I just want to own the fucking game and play it. Thank you.
Right.
So that was the biggest reason. And then secondarily, I had a roommate who, like, I was gone or something and come back, and he was by himself like the whole weekend, just played WoW all weekend and never took out the trash. And the trash was 3 times higher than the top of the trash can. And I was like, you dumb motherfucker. I understand gaming. I'm a gaming addict as well, but you can fucking spend 2 seconds to take out the trash.
But you can do that,
South
man.
Park episode.
You can
of
do
World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
Like, I used to play until my brain hurt, and I realized, oh shit, I haven't eaten in like 16 hours, and I haven't blinked in probably that long. I actually feel sick. Like, I used to do that shit, but I could still take out the goddamn trash after 3 days.
You're like my sugar levels are dropping hardcore. Yeah.
Like the trash, it was like a I don't know, maybe like knee or thigh high like trash can, and like he had just kept piling. Also, it was right outside his door, because his door went into the kitchen. It was right outside his door. All weekend he just kept piling shit on, and like it literally was like 3 times as high as the fucking can. I was like, what is wrong with you, man?
You're like, dude.
No one else was there. It was all him.
Yeah.
So it's not like he didn't leave his room to not do it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You can't make the excuse of like, oh, well, I was in my room the whole time and I just never took out the trash. Like, that's all your shit. You kept coming in and out and making different food and putting your trash on top of that. You piece of shit. And that, like, even more than the sub thing, that really soured me on World of Warcraft. I was like, nope.
Yeah. Yeah,
This
the community. That's the thing. Like, yeah,
asshole.
the community was over the fucking top, and that's what I mean. Like, when I got to the point of like, oh, I could raid, and it like I just couldn't find a raiding guild that was like, oh no, we're just a bunch of casual people. We're just, we just want to see it. We just want to, do the basic stuff just to get through it. It wasn't even that. It was, you need to give up your social life in order to play this game, and it's like, no. But there was enough people who did just give up social life just to play the game.
Yeah. Well, you can't give it up if you didn't have it.
You can't give up what you didn't have.
Very true.
It's true.
So there's that argument.
That is, I mean, yeah, that's true.
But yeah, I mean that's okay. So back to tie it back to like Secret World, it is like why Legends is actually even better in that respect than TSW, because Legends has story mode dungeons and a story mode raid. TSW had normal dungeons, I think, but those weren't story mode.
No.
Normal.
And in story mode, it's basically like, although story mode says like, oh, you could do this with 3 players, like you could really solo a lot of them.
A lot of them.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's designed for 3 players of whatever the fuck you want.
And then even still, the story, and even still, the dungeons were where there were extra content. You did learn a lot of new things. You did do that, but that wasn't where the main story went through.
I mean, my argument against that would be that like everything in Secret World is the main story.
It's technically the main story, but I mean,
Darkness War tells you where like Excalibur came from. You had the Varangian guy.
Or
right?
it gave you extra details. It gave you a lot of extra details, and it went deeper.
Yeah, that's what I mean, though. It is like if you're a story like a lore head, you would want to know that stuff.
But even still, like the main, and I'm talking about like the main story, the quote unquote main story. That just that didn't stop your progression.
No, I mean, it never stopped your progression, but I would say that if you don't do the dungeons and maybe even the raid, but definitely the dungeons, if you don't do the dungeons in Secret World, you are missing big chunks of stuff. But that's why there's normal ones.
Yeah.
Or I'm sorry,
like,
that's why there's story mode ones, I should say.
After my World of Warcraft thing, I like, started to bang the drum of like, if you have content that's group content, make a version of it soloable, just for the people who want to see that shit.
Or at least like really easy.
And it's like, but it's like, I don't care about the rewards. Like the whole point of, people are like, oh, run dungeons. Like, oh, so you just want to get you just want to get the stuff for.
No, I just want to see the cinematic.
For the free. And I was like, no,
Exactly.
I just want to see the shit.
Yeah,
I don't
see
care about
storyline that
the
continues
loot.
on.
Yeah. You can give me like basic loot. I don't care. I just want to see the shit.
Yeah.
But I think also development over time has changed to be like, we really should let people see what we make. We really shouldn't hide that behind walls. We should really let people see that.
Unless you're like the Dark Souls guys. Which I admire. No, like
still,
Elden
like
Ring.
Dark Souls
Elden Ring has
hard.
has bosses that like, unless you go look up a guide, you're never in a million years going to fucking find those. Like they hid one of the coolest bosses, like, it's fucking stupid far off the beaten path. And like, there's no way. I mean, someone found it, right? But
but to their credit, they made those games with the knowledge that the internet was around.
It's definitely designed around the community.
It's like Secret World's investigations. Like if you just wanted to blow through the investigation and just find a guide, like on WBB, you can do that.
But I was just saying that as a prop to them, is like most developers wouldn't be like, you know what, we have this super cool boss with an amazing cinematic like intro thing for it, but let's put it over here in this nook, and then if someone finds it, cool, and if not, like whatever. Like, you know what I mean? Like, hats off to them for just doing that, being like, yeah, you know what, fuck it. If you find it, awesome, and if you don't, it's all right. You'll come replay it when you know what I mean? You'll go find that when someone else shows it to you, be like, what the fuck is this? I need to go find that thing.
That's a thing, though. I mean, yeah.
Yeah. So, but it's a bold strategy to.
It is.
Essentially have a significant amount of like hidden content that's not. It's not blocked in the same way like the dungeon or raid is sort of blocked by a group, but just like if you don't find it, okay. Like
I say, but it's a knowledge of we're making a game in the age of the internet, and I play a lot of games that were made before the age of the internet, and you can tell that they are completely different in that effect. In that, some of the games might be like they were games in the past. They used to either be like, we're going to make this hard so that you spend more time playing, so you feel you got a deal.
Yeah.
Like if this game takes 100 hours, you're not going to feel bad about paying a premium price for it. So they made games really long, which made them either really grindy or they did whatever, but they never made them like impossible. They never put stuff like really impossible to find, because you were when you were playing it, like, unless like one of your best friends was playing it, and you could have someone to bounce off to, you didn't know what the fuck to do. But yet one of the companies out there that is known for their shit is Sierra, and they made games hard as hell, but then they made an entire mint off of selling clue books.
Yes, I remember those.
Yeah,
and they had
guides.
a 1-900 number that you could call to get hints in the game you were playing. So they had an entire separate.
Well, they had a model
income
built around
difficulty.
Yeah, and that you're not gonna crowdsource the fucking answer.
Which is why when the internet came around, it's like, well, they kind of fell apart because that was kind of their whole business model.
Yeah, now you have GameFAQs.com.
Yeah.
You go find a guide for like any fucking game, like a walkthrough guide,
That like ruined their whole business model, and that's why it's like the company folded very shortly after that started becoming a thing, because suddenly no one had to pay them extra money to figure out how to beat their own puzzles. But but this still doesn't mean that like games didn't have to be easy, or that but that's the thing. But now companies can be like, we can hide shit because eventually someone's going to find it. And when someone finds it, then other people are want to go back and find that too.
Yeah.
And it's going to end, it's going to be there. And so they can hide stuff, and it's almost like hiding stuff adds to the replayability, which is
Yeah, that I think is true, but you have to balance that. Like someone has to know, I guess, or be made aware that there's something worth replaying for, I guess.
Mhm.
And one of the ways you can do that is choices, right? Like, oh, I'll replay it again just to make a different choice. That's one way you do it, because then it's obvious. Like, oh, well, what happens if I play it again the other way? You know?
right. Like we're gonna make everyone. It's like Star Wars: The Old Republic. It's like, oh, we're gonna make somebody, this is gonna be a dark side character to the light side character, and so even though it's the same class, they're actually gonna play slightly differently. They're gonna play differently because it's two separate choices or two separate choice lines. But yeah, and that replayability, right, comes in for the amount of time that you play in the game, and totally a factor. But I don't know, yeah, it's a whole different mentality. And that's why it's like, yeah, it's like games like Dark Souls, like that's totally okay. Make a game hard. That's fine. I have no problems with hard games.
Yeah, actually, that's the thing too. A lot of people, specifically with those games, you have bitched about like there needs to be an easy mode, etc.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't realize that like there kind of is one.
There is.
Like
yeah.
there's no like difficulty slider, but it's like it's how you play the game.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can just spec to certain things, and all of a sudden a lot of shit's a lot easier.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then of course you get the hardcore people that are like, well, no, if you play using magic, you're not doing it the right way.
The right way, yeah. And
right?
it's like,
but
well,
if you play
no,
using
fuck
magic, you're gonna be able to smack shit around a lot easier. So
like technically the right way to play should be relatively the easiest or something like that, the most efficient way, which would be that way.
You have to play naked, and you can't block. Blocking's not allowed. And then I think the latest one is you can't even parry. Like you I think I even saw like one that was like not even dodging. No gear, no blocking, no dodging, no parrying, something like that. They're just walking circles around bosses, and I mean very expertly, but like just
right, yeah.
moving around and hitting the other guy like without doing any.
I'm just gonna mosey around, yeah.
Because if you do like rolls, you have invincibility frames, and like that's obviously cheating. So
yeah,
like some bullshit like that.
It's like, what is it? One of the big things going on in Elder Scrolls Online right now is they're going through a whole rebalance of damage and attacks, and they're going through a whole rebalance. And part of it is that people discovered that when you're attacking, and you've got basically light attacks, you have heavy attacks as normal, and then you have your abilities. And what they were like is that if you do like a light ability or a light attack and then do an ability, it basically cancels the animation of the light attack to do the ability. Oh, yeah. And you can almost like double or triple your damage by doing this what's called light attack weaving, and it's weaving in light attacks throughout all your other attacks.
Yeah.
But then they started balancing the game around people doing that.
Oh, that's just bad devs.
Right. And now they're trying to be like, wait, we really should have done that. We're gonna scale back the damage that light attacks do. And it's like, and the whole reason why it was because people are doing this animation canceling, which is sort of cheating.
No, I mean, no, it's really not. It's not. So you can animation cancel in Legends. You can you can cancel in 2W.
But it's sort of like it's certainly not the way that they wanted people to play.
But the thing is, you can't do it with everything. It's literally like their fault. It's not like you can always animation cancel. Right. It's literally certain animations, because of how they're set up, are able to cancel other ones. You could, I'm pretty sure at least, you could just change the animation to one that would not be able to cancel. Right? Like it would have to let it finish. So why they wouldn't just do that?
Yeah.
As opposed to the other thing.
Well, I imagine in ESO the reason why they wouldn't do that is because it would piss off everybody who has now come to rely on the amount of damage that they're doing by animation canceling. So they've backed themselves into a corner, basically.
Yeah, because like that's something I remember learning to do in TSW is like, because you can do I think it was molten steel.
Mm-hmm.
Like you take you put the hammer over your head, so you get like extra hammer energy. But you can do like demolish attack, demolish, molten steel, demolish. You can do inside of like 1.5 seconds. So you can animation cancel molten steel.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to like do molten steel, wait for your hands to come back down, and then do demolish. And when you run them together, you actually, like you legit do shit faster.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
So I've heard like especially with ESO, I've heard like a lot of like bitching about like oh they're getting they're nerfing this style of play that I've gotten completely used to, and it's like
I mean shit changes, like metas like I don't know, grow up or something.
It's balancing, like
find out what works again, and I mean that's
find the new meta.
Yeah, stop being lazy, learn a new meta.
All right. Anyway,
we
good to get. It's starting to get late. It's already.
I think Waffle's been sleeping. To be really honest,
quite possibly. Which is fine. I get it. All right. So agents, this has been the 0 Point Report, strain 67-WBB, which I'll tell you the secret. The WBB for this one stands for We're Back, Bitches. You can catch us recording live every other Thursday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, as long as we don't have hell months. Here on the 0 Point Report's Twitch channel, where you can also join us and chat with us while we do the show live, or download our show wherever podcasts are found so you can listen to us on the go. Jimmy, where can we find you online? You can find me at JimmytheRabbit.com, YouTube.com/JimmytheRabbit. What are you doing? Twitch.tv/JimmytheRabbit, and at @1JimmytheRabbit on Twitter. All right. I was saying, and of course, Jimmy is currently doing his head-to-head playthrough, so you should absolutely go check that out when you can. It's pretty cool. It is very cool. Toots on Waffle, where can we find you online?
Pretty much everywhere. I'm on the Twitters at @TwoTonWaffle. Here on Twitch, same thing, @TwoTonWaffle. And you can also find me over at twotonwaffle.com. That's where I get everything together in one little package. Nice, dude. Saying I'm Ocho, and you can find me both on Twitter and here on Twitch at Big Mikey Ocho. And actually, this month I put my blog back up. For some reason I got back into blogging a little bit. So you can find that at casualagro.wordpress.com for reasons. Very nice. You can get in touch with us by engaging with the show on Twitter at 0 Point Report, checking out previous shows on our YouTube channel, and joining us on our Discord server, both named the 0 Point Report. So from all of us here at the 0 Point Report, we want to thank you for tuning in and wish you all the best from the Secret World. Have a great night, everybody, and we'll see you next time. See you later. Bye.